the ability of 3-year-old children to attend school. The findings and evaluation of the study in a joint effort to support childcare and development while advancing women's economic empowerment, researchers from Kenyatta University's Women's Economic Empowerment Hub, KUTV Hub, researchers from Chuka University, international education stakeholders, and the Tharaka Nithi County government have over the past 2 years conducted a study examining the ability of 3-year-old children to attend school. The findings and evaluation of the study were presented during the 3rd International Women's Economic Empowerment Conference held at Chuka University. The researchers noted that childcare responsibilities often hinder women from pursuing economic opportunities. Consequently, there was a need to undertake this study to reduce the burden on women of staying home to care for young children and instead provide them with opportunities to engage in income-generating activities.
Women's economic empowerment is a cornerstone for child development and school readiness. The rationale is, when women have access to meaningful and equitable opportunities in the labor market, whether through formal employment, entrepreneurship, or access to productive resources, families thrive. Household incomes become more stable. Decision-making becomes more inclusive, and investments in children's health, nutrition, protection, and education improve significantly.
Mother's time helping children with homework increase at both midline and endline, regardless of marital status. And we are saying largely that regardless of marital status, women invested more time than fathers in children's homework and play.
According to the lead researcher of the Randomized Control Trial RCT project, Professor Simon Onywere, this study found that many mothers needed time and opportunities to work, particularly in agriculture. However, they were unable to do so because they spent most of their time caring for and raising their children. This created the need to enroll children in school at an earlier age.
The question was, where do you take these children now in a public school? Because the policy does not allow 3-year-old children to be in school. So we had to work with the county to do a county-specific policy to allow the 3-year-old to go to school. And because they didn't have the facilities in the school, we also looked into it that the facilities, the classroom facilities, there was no extra class. That these children, they could be put in the same learning environment with the PP1 children, but put an extra caregiver in that class to allow some differentiated teaching to take place so that items that are relevant to 3 years old can be taught, especially in the small group learning.
International researchers involved in the study from Yale University and Bangor University also shared their findings, stating that the research is important for building a strong foundation for future education in Kenya. They highlighted benefits including improved child development, better literacy outcomes, and enhanced economic opportunities for women.
All the partners that we have worked with to come together with this, it has enabled a caliber of research that brings top international experts with local knowledge, local expertise to enable an intervention that has the evidence behind it so that it can be internationally recognized as an intervention that works.
We randomly assigned 118 schools, 60 went into the intervention group and 58 went into a comparison group. And the program ran for 2 years. After the first year and the second year, we measured the quality of the classroom environment through independent observation. And again, at the end of the first year and the second year, we measured children's
to all this is that there are large gaps in female participation throughout the world. And why is that important? Well, it's important from many perspectives, right? From the individual perspective, people who work are more autonomous, are more empowered, have a greater autonomy to live their lives.
The Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, KNBS, also participated in the study by providing important data and presenting findings from its recent research on measuring women's empowerment in Kenya.
We conducted the survey in all the 47 counties. It was targeting women who are 18 years and above. Now, ordinarily, if this survey was to be done on its own, we wouldn't have had a sample size of 24,000. It was definitely going to be much less. But because it was a good national survey that was also measuring indicators that some of them were very rare, we had a large sample size.
However, researchers also emphasized several recommendations. According to Mr. James Onditi, improving women's health and education will significantly contribute to their economic empowerment.
Invest in women's health. Invest in women's education. These two aspects offer the highest gains for women's economic empowerment. The investments in health and education will drive measurable economic growth, reduce poverty, and improve labor force participation.
The project's international researchers and donors, led by the Gates Foundation through its representative Dr. Radu Ban, stressed the importance of investing in evidence-based solutions that can drive meaningful change and identify what works best in advancing women's economic empowerment.
Now we know. Right? Like now we know that this childcare intervention works, and not just works, but works very well for children, for women. Right? That's typically what the Gates Foundation does, is takes the risks out of learning, because you don't want to put your money into something that you don't know. Right? So we were very happy to support this initiative to tell us, hey, if we all want to advance women's economic empowerment, what do we do? Well, one thing we can do is invest in childcare. Right? So now that the case has been demonstrated, it's up to all of us here to figure out, well, we've shown it works for some, 600 kids, but there are many tens of thousands of kids here in Tharaka Nithi. So let's figure out together how we can reach all of them.
The RCT project highlighted significant benefits for children, women, and teachers, including increased enrollment of preschool children, improved retention of children in school. Parents, particularly women, have successfully started and expanded their own businesses. Parents are more actively engaged in economic activities. Families have been empowered to earn daily income, and teaching methods have become easier and more effective for teachers. Stakeholders, policymakers, and government agencies are now being urged to address the structural barriers that prevent women from fully participating in economic activities that can improve their livelihoods. Such barriers include unequal pay, limited access to credit, informal employment arrangements, and socio-cultural constraints. Caroline Kimwele, KUTV, Tharaka Nithi County.
All right, a very good morning to you. Many thanks for joining us this Tuesday, the last Tuesday of the month of June. And officially, we are crossing All right, to our gentle viewers at home, good morning to you. How hot is your coffee? Have you woken up on this 30th day of June 2026? We're officially crossing over to the second half of the year, and being the 30th of June, it is the final day where you're supposed to be filing your returns. So have you filed your returns? Whether it's nil, whether it's income tax, whatever you're filing, have you filed your returns? Today marks the last day of the same, and KRA just said that it won't be adding any other day for the same. So if you've not filed your returns, it is the day for you. Now, being a Tuesday, it is a day where we talk about business, entrepreneurship, leadership, everything in between. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, you're starting up, you are just right on time and at the right place, where we're about to talk about matters entrepreneurship, especially for the young people who are just starting up in their careers, in their lines of duty, or they're just beginning their businesses. And today, being a Tuesday, we shall be having conversations, two different conversations, actually three different conversations. The first one will be talking about youth health and blood donation awareness. How healthy are you to donate blood? What are the myths surrounding the same? What needs to be done? Who qualifies for the same? And that discussion, we shall be talking about that with our guests, Okumu Bethwell, who is a medical student right here at Kenyatta University. So that discussion will be coming up later on. And also we shall be talking about education innovation and of course global opportunities. We shall be talking to Nyakio Gichuki, who is the co-founder and CEO of Universal Future Frontiers. So we shall be looking at opportunities that you need to look for if you're a young person, or if you've just begun your career and you want to progress or advance. We shall be looking at opportunities that are there for you in your career. We'll talk about being mentored into bigger roles, talk about getting scholarships, talk about being scholars in different fields and getting supported on the same. So we shall be having that discussion later on right here on the broadcast, just to empower our young people and show them the way forward, because they say that those people who go far go with others. If you want to go far, you go with others, and it's good if someone holds your hand in the same journey. Today, also being a Tuesday, we shall be having discussions on the state of the nation, and of course this shall be covering the newspapers, that is the headlines newspaper review, and we shall be joined by Amina Kadzo Kazungu, who is coastal youth leader. And on the same note, we shall also be joined by our very own Blue Smile Hassan, ambaye ni president vuguvugu la vijana wa Pwani, if I'm not wrong. So that is Blue Smile Hassan, who shall also be joining us later on, talking about the state of the nation. And the month of June, a lot has been going on in the month of June, especially, let me say for me, because it has been a month where I crossed over to the edge where they say that I am the background. Right now, I can no longer say that I come from a humble background or anything of the sort, because at the moment I am the background. Now, it has been a month of so many things. Finance bill, we have been talking about the budget, we've been talking about different laws that are coming forth, and right now we are talking about a different law that shall be effective from tomorrow, that is July, and that is the law on the regulation that private car owners are supposed to be taking their cars for inspection and the same. So the finance bill, we are done with it. We are done, of course, with the budget. We are done with everything. So later on, we shall be having conversations on the supplementary budget, because, of course, we know we are in a country where the first budget is not always going throughout the year. So The discussions surrounding the same are not over yet, and of course the implementation of the various rules that we have been talking about on the finance bill shall also be taking effect in the country. So you shall be feeling it. If you thought it was a joke, right now it's the time that it shall be directly affecting you. Now, being a Tuesday also, and talking about the state of the nation, we shall be having several newspapers with that we shall be discussing, and just to take a look at what is briefly going on in the country with the newspapers that you're having, the local newspapers in the country, of course, considering what transpired last week on Thursday in the commemoration of the second anniversary of the June 25th protest in the country. So we've had several conversations surrounding the same of concerning abductions, and of course we had a positive outlook last week where no life was lost, but then so many things have been happening. And yesterday we had the cry of activists who either disappeared or first really had it hard in the hands of the law enforcers. And to set us off, we are having the Standard. And the Standard are asking the question, Mr. President, why? And this is in relation to the ordeal of the activist who was seen back or was thrown on the street half naked. That was on Sunday. And the Standard are saying that 2 days ago, Mathare-based activist Davis Lichuma was found barely alive after he was reportedly arrested during the June 25th Gen Z commemoration held in Comunicado, tortured and dumped in a critical condition at Kenyatta National Hospital. Three others reportedly arrested by police on the same day are yet to be found. These alleged atrocities targeting government critics, despite President William Ruto's pledge to end abductions, are spine-chilling. Yet, despite the resurgence of such incidents, the president has remained silent, raising troubling questions about his administration's commitment to protecting the rights of all Kenyans. Mr. President, the buck stops with you. The alleged torture and enforced disappearance of Kenyans by those entrusted with enforcing the law will inevitably shape your legacy. That is the Standard today, talking directly to the President of the Republic of Kenya, asking the question, Mr. President, why? So we are at a time when the country protest victims are receiving compensation, and of course this is led by Professor Makau. That is ongoing, but at the same time, the question we are asking is, why is it that we cannot stop this? Or is it that the country just have enough money to compensate protest victims, those who have disappeared or those who have been abducted? And the same, the Daily Nation is talking of the same, and the picture of Davis, a troubling picture, is also on the front page of the Daily Nation. A man who was unable to speak because of the trauma that he endured in the hands of his abductors. And the Daily Nation are talking of abduction victims, harrowing ordeals. So Lichuma is yet to speak because of the shock that he underwent as he was lost. So he will be speaking probably, but that will take time because the man looks very troubled considering what happened to him. And also still on the Daily Nation, they're talking matters politics, talking of Wamunyoro's delegation push for Uhuru Gachagua deal. And remember, Gachagua is now in recess, where he said that he will be off the front lines of politics, and now political leaders, that is DCP leaders, are visiting his home. And this was during a visit yesterday at his Wamunyoro home, and they're talking of a possibility of a pact between former President Uhuru Kenyatta and of course with the impeached deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua. And they're also talking of hospital operations hit as SHA owes counties 27 billion, and the list of hospitals is given there on the front page of the Daily Nation. And this is in relation to what is really making the SHA implementation difficult in the country. That is on the Daily Nation. Taifa leo wanazungumzia pia masuala ya Davis, ambao wanasema kwamba nusura watuwe This is still in relation to the disappearance of activists, those who are criticizing the government. And they're also talking of different stories. They're talking of ujenzi wa baadhi ya nyumba za bei nafuu wakwama. Wanazungumzia pia maandamano leo Afrika Kusini dhidi ya wahamaji, na pia wanasema kwamba koti yasitisha tena ujenzi wa ikulu Imenti. This is a story that has been ongoing in the country for quite some time regarding the construction of that should be taking place in Imenti. And pia wanasema kwamba uteuzi ujao unavyotishia vyama vikuu, na wametaja chama cha ODM, Wiper, Ford Kenya miongoni mwa vyama vingine. And remember that the ODM party has strongly maintained that they are in the broad-based government and they are not going to side with Gachagua whatsoever. They'll be negotiating for, I don't know, seats. Is it power? Is it negotiating for the people? We shall know more on the same as we talk more on the newspaper review. The People Daily are talking of Kenya's retirees time bomb. That is a story that is given prominence, and on page 2 they're talking of why key political moves may be delayed until 2027. That is in relation to political realignments and alignments that we hear our leaders saying that they will be implementing, or they will be making statements and giving us way forward. So why they will be delayed until 2027. More of that story on the People Daily, page 2. And on page 4, they're talking of the return of sky politics, choppers over rural Kenya. You know, it's despite the fact that IEBC has not yet declared that the official campaigns have begun, you already see our politicians traveling to the villages every now and then for campaigns, and the same that is still in preparation for next year's general election. On the Business Daily, they're talking of UN agency opens audit after 1.5 billion shillings theft in Kenya project. Still matters corruption making headlines on the Business Daily. They're also talking of medical loans now fastest growing for SACCOs. Initially, we had people taking loans for paying school fees, taking loans to buy houses, to do construction and development projects. But right now that most Kenyans are living on the edge, the SACCOs are listing that most of the loans, or the growing number of loans taken, are towards medical expenses. And they're also talking of I&M Bank poaches Abdi from Absa Bank. Another story in business is that rising interest rates lift money market fund returns. So those are stories that are given prominence on the Business Daily. Moving forward to the Financial Standard, they're talking of price hikes, job cuts loom after new tax on furniture. That is on the Financial Standard. And moving on to the Star talking of 1 million women receive business grants. This is in relation to women empowerment by President William Ruto's government. And if you can see, they're having women who are on their traditional attires, these are Maasai attires, receiving different grants. And we've seen grants being given or distributed to different groups in the country. We have the youths being given several funds, including the Nyota Fund. We have the Women Enterprise Fund. We have different funds that are being given by the current administration. And Kenya, we're always political. Despite all this, we'll still ask, is this a move to popularize President William Ruto ahead of the 2027 general election? But a president gotta do what he gotta do to get the second term. That is on the Star. They're also talking of Dubai tops counties travel destination as spending hits 13 billion. Something that we've been complaining for a long time. All this benchmarking and all those trips to different countries. At the moment, Dubai is ranking at the top of those destinations. They're also talking of do or die in Olkolau as Ruto unleashes full campaign arsenal. That is in matters politics right there on the Star. They're also having a different story on page 3, where they're talking of house help losses 1.3 million claim for abandoning job. And they're also talking of Reverend Cho's faith of a family opened door to Gen Z in grief. Those are stories that are given prominence on the Star this morning. Now moving on to papers across our borders. Today we don't have the Daily Monitor because we all know that it is shut. You know that NTV was shut in Uganda, so the Daily Monitor is not with us this morning. Gazeti la Mwananchi in Tanzania wanasema kwamba maeneo nyeti chini ya ulinzi, polisi watanda. That was in matters security. Vile vile wanasema kwamba Katambi akaliwa kooni, LHRC kumburuza kotini. Pia wanasema kwamba SUK ngoma ngumu, CCM yaachiwa zigo. That is on matters politics. Vile vile wanasema kwamba maofisa wakuu wa shule nchini walivyo kikwazo kwa wanafunzi. In Kenya, we also have almost a similar story where we are having different school heads complaining and parents complaining. The recent one is with St. George's, where parents are suing the school for allegedly handling students inappropriately. And the students say that they were sexually handled in the name of inspection. That matter is yet to be settled yet. And we are seeing similar stories going on across our borders. And on the Citizen, they're saying the fair puzzle after oil falls. And still on matters oil, in Tanzania, they're saying that it is not just about the oil prices. There are different factors that are contributing to hiking fuel fair prices. And in Tanzania, they've just told them that, you know, that reprieve may not be coming soon because it's not just about the oil prices. There is more onto that. So that is on the Citizen, and that brings the end to the newspapers that we are having this morning. We don't have Uganda because, you know, Mwozi did that thing. So that is on the newspapers update. Let's now take a look at what is happening on the roads and, of course, the weather situation in different parts of the country. All right, it is exactly 32 minutes past 7 a.m. and I'm looking at traffic in Nairobi. Those are tributaries leading to Nairobi Central Business District. To set us off from where we are, that is on Thika Road, because we are at Kenyatta University main campus. On Thika Road, just as expected, what we normally see each and every morning from Garden City Mall all the way to Pangani Interchange, affecting those coming from Kiambu Road. Traffic is quite heavy on that road. If you're using Jogoo Road getting to town, you'll also be staying on the road for quite some time. And just to mention about those people coming from Kiambu Road, Thika Road, around Globe Roundabout, as expected, you'll be staying on that road for quite some time. So those who are thinking that they will be escaping it, kuingia town through downtown, from Jogoo Road, wakiingia kule chini kunaitwa Marikiti, you're also going to be staying on the road for quite some time if you're using that route to get to town. And of course, this is affecting those coming, getting to town or joining Mombasa Road from the Eastern Bypass. If you're using that route from Utawala all the way to the Imara shopping mall, wale watu wanatoka Embakasi, if you're using that route, you're going to be staying on the road for quite some time. Now let's come back to those using the Mombasa road. So every junction as you head to town, just from as you get from Nyayo Stadium going to town, all the junctions, you are going to be staying on that road for quite some time. And then those coming from the other side of town, Kule Juu Bomas, you're going to be staying on the road for quite some time. So most of the road I'm looking at, traffic is heavier than we always see. Around the Yaya Center Junction, you're going to be staying on the road for quite some time. Around the Junction Mall, around that junction, if you are passing through that place, you're going to be staying on the road for quite some time. And of course, wale watu wanatoka Westlands, around that is the Westlands Square, around Sarit, you're going to be staying on the road also for quite some time. So if you're using either of the roads getting to town, that is along the Ring Road, Westlands, especially that road, getting to Mombasa Road, you're going to be staying on the road for quite some time. And of course, due to construction that is going around the All Saints, if you're using that route today, you're also going to be staying on the road for quite some time. So looking at different tributaries leading to Nairobi Central Business District, this morning as of 7:35, traffic is slower than usual, or slower than all the other times that we see right here as we give updates. Now looking at the weather situation in different parts of the country, let's begin from the coastal region. And in Mombasa today, right now, it is 23 degrees Celsius. Throughout the day, it will be partly sunny today. And right now, it feels like 26 degrees Celsius. They'll be receiving highs of up to 28 degrees Celsius. So today, it will just be a hot day in Mombasa. So if you're in Mombasa, it is a good weather for the beach. And in Kilifi County, it will also be partly sunny throughout the day. Right now it is 25 degrees Celsius and it feels like 27 degrees Celsius. They'll also be receiving highs of up to 28 degrees Celsius. Moving forward to the northern part of the country, in Mandera right now, it is 26 degrees Celsius. It will also be partly sunny. Right now it feels like 28 degrees Celsius at this hour. They'll be receiving highs of up to 31 degrees Celsius in Mandera. And of course, there is no sign of precipitation. In Isiolo, it is 21 degrees Celsius. It feels like 24 degrees Celsius. The day will also be partly sunny, and they'll be receiving temperatures highs of up to 29 degrees Celsius. That is around 2-3 p.m. where temperatures will be at its peak. And in the Nyanza region in Homa Bay County right now, it is at 22 degrees Celsius and it is sunny because it feels like 25 degrees Celsius. In Homa Bay today, they'll be receiving highs of up to 30 degrees Celsius. And of course, there is no sign of precipitation in Homa Bay County. Back in Kisumu, it is 20 degrees Celsius. It feels like 24 degrees Celsius. It will also be sunny, just like in Homa Bay, and they shall be receiving temperature highs of up to 29 degrees Celsius. So it is a good weather also in Kisumu. In the western part of the country, in Kakamega, right now it is 17 degrees Celsius. It feels like it, and the day will also be sunny, and they'll be receiving temperatures of up to 28 degrees Celsius with around 40% chances of rainfall later on in the evening. In Eldoret, right now it is 14 degrees Celsius, quite low compared to other parts of the country, and it feels like it. Right now it's sunny, and at around noon there's 40% chances of precipitation, but then again they'll be receiving temperature hikes of up to 25 degrees Celsius at around 3 p.m. That is in Eldoret. Coming close to us, it's in Kiambu County. Right now it's 16 degrees Celsius and it feels like it. It is cloudy in Kiambu County, and throughout the day they'll be receiving temperatures rise of up to 22 degrees Celsius. So it will be quite chilly in Kiambu compared to other counties. And finally, in Nairobi, it is 16 degrees Celsius. It feels like it. It is also cloudy in Nairobi, so not as sunny as compared to other parts of the country. And today in Nairobi, temperatures will be hiking to up to 22 degrees Celsius right here in the capital. So most parts of the country the coastal region, the northern part of the country, the Nyanza region. Those are the areas that are partly sunny or sunny, and temperatures are quite good for, you rocking your outfit without carrying heavy jackets and sweaters. But in Nairobi and Kiambu, Eldoret, Kakamega, that is in the, of course, the central part of the country, and of course the western part of the country and the Rift Valley, temperatures are quite lower compared to other areas in the country. That is on the weather. And of course the traffic update as of 7:39 a.m. this morning. We'll now take a look at what is happening in the news. That is on the news update.
Kila safari huanza kwa hatua moja. Bila shaka, dira ya Boresha Kilimo sasa imepata sura mpya. Boresha Kilimo si kipindi tu, bali ni darasa la vitendo kwa wakulima. Lengo kuu, mavuno bora na tija kwa jamii. Na ukikaa nasi basi utaboresha kilimo. Hapa tutakupakulia maarifa atakotia ladha ya kisukari kwenye mazao yako, tukitofautisha punje na mpunga. Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha. Kuanzia maandalizi ya shamba, mbinu za teknolojia ya kisasa hadi sokoni, usikose kutazama Boresha Kilimo. Ukitaka kujua haya usipime kipimo. Ungana nami nahodha wako Akida Kasim kila siku ya Jumamosi saa 6:30 mchana na Jumanne asubuhi, nikikuletea shajara kamili za wakulima na suluhisho mashinani. Kilimo ni nguzo kubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa, kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha. Kumbuka, ukipanda pantosha utavuna pankwisha.
Bamba mafala kama wazazi wako.
Why are you trying to kiss? I get it. Move.
Baada ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili
bila woga. Watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi. Hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
One kid, one dream. 2 feet, one king. 3 chairs when they score. 4 flags at the door. 5 rings for the crown. 6 drums singing loud. 7 steps to the goal. 8 hearts, one soul. 19 counting now. Raise your hands, show me how. 11 to the sky. We're learning with the World Cup. The fun. I'm out on the wing. Hakimi makes it sing. it. One Bissaka in the lane, African stars again. 1, 2, 3, 4, count it more. 5, 6, 7, 8, World Cup makes it great. 9, 10, 11, 12, say it now for yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, count it more.
Yay! Let's go!
Wanasema kula uhondo kwa taka matendo, na bila shaka matendo yake yakazaa uhondo. Bidii na panda shuka zake zikamfanya awe mwanga wa dunia.
Pauline Care ni mwalimu wa walimu. Nilijua nilikuwa ninataka kufanya kwa mochari.
Nilijitolea kimasomaso, nikasema manake nimeenda shule kama wenzangu wa kiume, nitafanya kazi kadri na uwezo wangu.
Inafika mahali ile game yenye umesema hiyo ndio naenda ku give up na uachane na boxing, ndio unapata WBC.
Fahamu mwanamke huyu kwa utendeti zaidi ukitazama kipindi cha Mwanamke Mwake Mwake. Kila Jumatano saa 2:30 usiku, ukiwa nami Caroline Kimwele.
Right, welcome back. And as I promised earlier, right now we are going to take a look at what is shaping the world of news in the country. To set us off, we have the fear is spreading across Kandara sub-county in Murang'a County following reports of rising cases of alleged sexual attacks targeting older persons in the county. And the residents say that the incidents have left many elderly persons or elderly people living in fear, with the concerns growing over their safety and security. Let's take a look at that story by our very own Yvonne Shirisha.
Jamii na wakazi wa eneo la kaunti ndogo ya Kandara, kaunti ya Murang'a, wanadai kuwa wanawake wazee, hasa wale wanaoishi peke yao, wanazidi kulengwa katika mashambulizi yanayotokea nyakati za usiku ya kingono. Wakazi hao wanadai kuwa baadhi ya wanaume wazee pia wamekuwa waathiriwa wa mashambulizi ya kingono wanapokuwa wakirejea manyumbani usiku.
In the recent past, we have had issues of abuse that is being meted on older persons, especially old men and women, where they are getting sexually abused, and it is a challenge. It is something that needs to be addressed urgently, because these people, they don't have a place where they can air their grievances. They don't know the channels they can use to express their abuse, especially the sexual abuse, the emotional abuse, the psychological abuse.
Madai hayo ya mashambulizi yamezua wito wa kuchukuliwa hatua za haraka na vyombo za usalama. Wakazi wanataka uchunguzi wa kina ufanyike, doria za polisi ziongezwe na hatua za haraka zichukuliwe ili wahusika wakamatwe na kufikishwa mahakamani.
Hapo kwa hiyo vijana wanakamata wengine kwa nguvu, especially kama unatoka kwa mbaa, unataimiwa saa ile unatoka ukiwa mlevi. Ukitoka nje, ukitoka kama futi 20 hivi unapigwa, unaanguka, alafu unafurutwa kwa nyasi. Kuna shida sana. Tunaomba serikali iwe ikichunguza, hata kama mtu anafanywa hiyo kitendo, awe akisema ni fulani alimfanya, na mtu mmoja akikamatwa anaadhibiwa kisheria.
Masuala hayo yalijadiliwa wakati wa kongamano la uhamasishaji ulioandaliwa na Uhai Kenya. Shirika hilo lililaani madai hayo ya unyanyasaji na kutaka wazee walindwe zaidi. Pia lilitoa wito kwa serikali kuanzisha vituo vya usaidizi ambapo waathiriwa wanaweza kupata huduma za ushauri nasaha, msaada wa kisheria na njia salama za kutoa taarifa kwa kisiri.
So we would urge the government to set up establishment where older persons can freely and comfortably express their grievances, especially when they are meted with abuse, because this has become very rampant. And this abuse, mostly it comes from the people who are living with the older persons, the caregivers, the sons and daughters of our old grandmothers and grandfathers.
Zaidi ya wazee 400 waliohudhuria kongamano hilo lililolenga kuimarisha ulinzi wa wazee dhidi ya unyanyasaji. Walieleza matumaini kuwa kuimarishwa kwa usalama pamoja na huduma za kusaidia waathiriwa kutarejesha imani na kuboresha usalama wa wazee katika jamii. Yvonne Shirisha, runinga ya KU.
Thank you, Yvonne. We have just concluded the month where we are marking the men's mental health that was which was marked in June, and I hope that someday we may also consider looking at the mental health of the elderly in the society. Now, moving on, civil society organizations in the coastal region have increased pressure on the government over alleged kidnapping, torture, and police brutality witnessed during last week's nationwide protest in honor of the victims of the 2024 Finance Bill protest in the country. The groups have accused security agencies of violating constitutional rights of Kenyans, calling to an end of enforced disappearances and excessive use of force against peaceful protesters.
All people who suffer because the state has meted some unlawful action against them need to be catered for. It cannot be justice for other people or other groups and then you leave others. It then speaks to the fact that the state is not ready to stop the question of abductions. I looked at that case. The list that was given to them from Kenya National Commission on Human Rights consisted of all those groups. What happened that the element of enforced disappearance was removed?
What we have seen by the police officers enforcing excessive law to the law-abiding citizens, it is not mandated under our 2010 Constitution.
Port of Mombasa.
Now, still in the coastal region, a section of members of the Dock Workers Union have defended the managing director of the Kenya Ports Authority, that is William Ruto, against corruption allegations related to the road construction project at the port of Mombasa. And as Fatma Hamisi reports, the Dock Workers Union allied to KPA boss maintain that the claims are are unsubstantiated, politically motivated, and should be investigated by relevant authorities.
Mombasa members, led by Paul Amisa, have criticized nearly Member of Parliament Mohamed Ali for alleging through social media that there were irregularities in the procurement process for the construction of 800-meter road at the port of Mombasa. The group dismissed claims that KPA spent 8 billion shillings on the road project. According to Ambisa, if there is any evidence of corruption, it should be represented to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, AACC, or other relevant investigative agency, rather than being debated on social media.
KPA itself has got a way they can address your issues within KPA. If it cannot be addressed within KPA, then we have government agencies that can handle those issues. If they have evidence that there is a potential danger, they go to ACC, who will do investigation. When they find that there is corruption, the case is taken to court.
According to David Mali, matters relating to the public procurement should be handled through legal and constitutional channels, including Parliament or the AACC, instead of making accusation without evidence.
Tafadhali wananchi, wakati unapowapotosha, sababu wengine hawajui vile utendakazi inakuwa, itakuwa unataka kupanda mbegu mbaya katika wananchi wetu wale wa kawaida. Tumeona utendakazi wa Captain Ruto pale katika KPA, ni kiongozi mwema, mali amepeleka utendakazi. Ile rekodi ameweka pale ni hali ya juu. Kazi inaenda, meli zinakuja.
Julius Nzikoi warned against dragging the Kenya port authorities into political, despite saying such action could negatively affect the management of the strategic state cooperation.
Wale wanajaribu kuingisha mambo yao pale katika bandari ya Mombasa. Tunawaomba tafadhali, pale hakuna siasa. Ile iko pale ni kufanya kazi, na captain si mwenye siasa. Kwa hivyo wapeleke siasa huku nje na wapanye siasa na wale wengine.
The members are now calling on the relevant authority to thoroughly investigate any corruption allegation in accordance with the law, while emphasizing that port development should safeguard national interest and strengthen investor confidence. Fatma Munyamisi.
Now, yesterday, President William Ruto assented to the County Revenue Allocation Bill 2026, clearing the way for the disbursement of 428 billion shillings, equitable share to the 47 county governments for the 2026-2027 financial year. The bill was passed by the National Assembly on June 25th, 2026, after approval by the Senate following the enactment of the Division of Revenue Act. The allocation of 13 billion higher than the allocation is 13 billion higher than 415 billion allocated in the 2025-2026 financial year, and represent 20.9% of the most recently audited national revenue, exceeding the constitutional minimum of 15%. The funds will support devolved functions including healthcare, agriculture, roads, and early childhood education. At the same time, President William Ruto commissioned the Ngong Road, Naivasha Road overpass in Nairobi, a project whose construction was launched on September 17, 2024. The overpass expected to ease traffic congestion, reduce travel time, improve road safety, and enhance business activities within the city. Speaking during the commissioning ceremony, President Ruto reiterated the government's commitment in investing in modern infrastructure projects to stimulate economic growth, attract investment, and improve the livelihoods of Kenyans through an efficient transport network.
Nimewaeleza hii mjengo hii ya barabara hii ilikuwa imepangiwa kumalizika mwaka ujao Julai. Mimi nikakuja hapa mara 3 nikamwambia huyu contractor hakuna vile tunaweza kungojea miaka 3 hii.
All right, now Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs Geoffrey Ruku has stated that every region has the right to make autonomous political decisions based on its distinct interest and development aspirations. Speaking at a church service at AIPCK Church in Gitumba in Gatundu North, Kiambu County, Ruku stated that rather than treating development and representation as uniform issues, regions throughout the country should embrace their unique identities and concentrate on addressing the particular socioeconomic challenges affecting their people.
Tuangalie maneno. Tunasemanga vile vile tuchinje na kisu ambayo Hapa mnazamanga namna hiyo? Iko sharp. Ile ambayo inajua ukata vizuri. Tusinje tukachanganywa kidogo na wale ambao wanaweka mambo ya kuchanganya jamii ya Mlima Kenya, ati ili wote watoke katika serikali ya Mheshimiwa William Ruto. Lakini tukue kitu moja.
Now, widows from 4 Nyanza counties are intensifying their campaigns for land and inheritance rights, citing years of discrimination, property grabbing, and eviction from their homes after the death of their husbands. Through the N4C Widows Community-Based Organization, the women are now demanding justice and a stronger protection of their property rights, as Yvonne Shirisha now reports.
Those from Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, and Siaya counties have come out stating that discrimination has left many without land, homes, or access to family investment after losing their spouses. They cited that prolonged succession dispute, coupled with limited legal knowledge, has made it difficult for many to reclaim properties.
The widows have bore the brunt of it. That every time their late husbands pass on, or the other relatives of their husband even try to evict them from their land, even try to sell their houses. And this has been a problem, particularly in the Nyanza region, as much as it is a problem nationally. But in the Nyanza region, it has been quite hectic for them.
To address the challenge, the N4C Widows Community-Based Organization has partnered with Nyatike residents and parliamentary aspirant Robin Joge, who has pledged free legal assistance to widows pursuing succession cases, promising to help simplify court procedures and guide widows in securing the documents needed to claim family properties.
Kiwa widow, kuna masemeji zetu huwa wanatudharau sana. Unapata shamba yako wanataka kuchimba tu akisonga kwa sababu huna mtu mwenye atapishana na hao. Unakuta hata matusi unatusiwa tu, hawajali kwa sababu wanajua hatuna uwezo. Kwa hivyo kulingana na vile sasa tumejiunga kwa CBOs na tukajiunga kwa hii N4C, tukapata mafundisho ya kwamba tunapoingiliwa na hawa masemeji zetu wenye wanatusumbua, tuko na right zetu.
Joge maintains that Kenya already has adequate law safeguarding widows' inheritance right, but says poor implementation and limited public awareness continues to fuel family disputes over properties.
To bring in advocates who have practiced and has teamed up with many other women lawyers, including FIDA, to come and just engage with the widows to help them understand the process. We will also engage the local courts just to understand, because this is a process that goes all the way to the local courts. We will also engage those courts to help them fasten the process. They will be shown what forms to complete, what do you need, and so on and so forth, so that that process becomes easy.
The widows are now calling on government agencies, the judiciary and community leaders to strengthen enforcement of inheritance law, speed up succession cases, and protect widows from unlawful eviction and property grabbing. Yvonne Shirisha, KUTV.
Now, as the women complain of property rights, this is the paradox of the same story. An American and Irish investor, Joel Fitzpatrick, has appealed to the Kenyan government, investigation agencies, and the United States Embassy in Nairobi to intervene in what he describes as an elaborate fraud scheme that allegedly cost him his property worth 89 million shillings. Joel claims that the assets, they were purchased by his money but registered in the name of his wife. Here's the report.
Joel Fitzpatrick, an American and Irish investor, has narrated his fraud encounters in Kenya after moving in country and marrying a Kenyan woman, Martha Wanjiru, who later turned out to be a scammer. According to Joel, he sold his business abroad and used part of his inheritance to purchase a beachfront house and motor vehicles. However, to his surprise, Wanjiru had other plans.
She told me what she said in the first argument, that she is taking everything from me, that she has it all in her bank account, that she has the title deeds to the house in her name, she has the title deeds to the 2 vehicles in her name, she has all the clothing and jewellery I bought her, everything is in her name. She will have me deported, and that will be the end of the matter as far as I am concerned. I subsequently sobered up pretty quickly, and I've been fighting back ever since. I had gone to the police. I had gone to the police in February with the lawyer.
Fitzpatrick also claims his life is in danger after alleged being targeted in an attempt attack by unknown individuals in Watamu. According to Joel, he reported the matter to the Director of Criminal Investigation, the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions, and Watamu Police Station, but claims no meaningful action has been taken.
Gone to the police after I had gone to the DPP. I had said to the DPP, I told them my story. They had said 100% that it is fraud, it is premeditated, that her daughters are involved, that the manager of Family Bank and Family Bank are involved, that her church are involved, that other people are involved. They said they will prosecute her and that I will get all my assets and money and possessions back in due course. The police have to date done absolutely nothing. The DPP have done absolutely nothing.
Human rights organizations are now calling for thorough investigation into the allegation, saying the case has wide implications for the protection of a foreign investor in Kenya.
Treachery by divorcing him and attempting to defraud him of all the property. We are saying justice should be done so that his rights are protected. We are here to protect his rights. As a foreign investor, as a property owner, he has his rights to own property. He also has his human rights. We are saying nobody must try to attempt to deport him or even incarcerate him. We want justice. Let the case in court, the civil case, where he is demanding for his property, be heard to the logical conclusion.
The organization have also asked the Director of Immigration Service not to take any action that could affect dual resident status until the civil case before the court is concluded. Fatima Munyamisi.
And still on cases of fraud involving foreign nationals, 2 Italian nationals accused of scamming other Italian 32 million Kenyan shillings presented themselves before the Kilifi Magistrate Court to resume their criminal case. And the 2 are accused of defrauding Mr. Fiorenzo Girola, Mr. Rosa Tetamanzi, and Ms. Rita Napo in an alleged 32 million scam. The 2 suspects unsuccessfully attempted to hold the lower court proceedings after they went to the higher courts seeking orders to directing the police to halt any additional investigations against the 2 accused individuals and prohibiting the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions from taking any further action against them until the higher court's final decision was made. The High Court had ordered the suspension of the criminal proceedings that were still pending before the Kilifi Court.
It's okay, but then we had all the parties who they are present. It's okay. I'm here. It's submission dates. It's okay, but then we had all the parties who they are present. It's okay. I'm here. It's submission dates.
All right, now that brings us to the end of the news update this morning. Thank you so much for being part of it. Now we are taking a very short break. When we come back, we shall be having the discussions that we mentioned earlier, that we are supposed to be empowering the young people to become better citizens in the country. And of course, this is in relation to blood donations and how they can maintain good health, misconceptions surrounding it, and everything in between. Stay tuned for that, coming up after the break.
Herbs are a highly valuable resource globally. Beyond adding flavor to food, they are widely used in traditional medicine, aromatherapy, and even in the production of cosmetics. This makes the sector one with rapidly growing demand. In 2019, Moses Otieno made a bold decision that many would consider risky. He quit his job and ventured into herbs farming. The decision has since turned into a major success.
Nimejaribu other types of farming, naona ina fail. So I had a friend of mine mwenye alijaribu kuniintroduce na nikafanya statistics zangu, nikafanya research, nikaona inaweza, nikatafuta market vile iko, vile control nini ndo nikaingia. So specifically hii nilianza 2019.
On his farm, Moses grew a variety of herbs including rosemary, thyme such as lemon thyme and winter thyme, tarragon, oregano and mint. Typically, these plants take about 3 months to mature and be ready for harvest. Water plays a crucial role in their growth.
Kilimo cha rosemary ama spices in general, kwanza chenye unafaa uangalie apart from wewe kukua na shamba, angalia maji kwanza. Is your source of water reliable? Ni hiyo maji lazima ikuwe unaweza ipata at least 10,000 liters a day.
However, access to water at the right time remains a major challenge that can significantly affect yields. To address this, farmers are adopting innovative methods such as organic manure and coco peat to improve soil fertility and return moisture.
Tunatumia manure first. Unaona wakati sasa tuna prepare land. Kwanza tuna mix hiyo mchanga. Wakati tuna raise these beds, tuna mix na manure. Unaona, tukisha mix na manure tunapanda. Lakini within the process ya mmea kugrow, kuna zile fertilizer huwa tunaongezea ndio tukue na fast growth na pia ndo tupate tufanye mmea yetu ikuwe na ile weight tunatarajia.
Fertilizer play a key role in improving soil health. It enhances nutrients content, improves soil structure, and helps retain both water and air essential for root development.
Itabaki igrow tena hivyo, unaona hivyo. So kishamaliza hivyo, unaona hii tulipanda stem moja tu. Sasa kitu haufai kupeleka, unaona ikiwa na kama mchanga hivi, ndio lazima utoe. Alafu pia wakati wa harvesting hakuna kuosha, zote hakuna.
During the nursery stage, coco peat is used in seed beds. Its moisture retaining properties support seed germination and promote healthy seedling growth.
Feed na hiyo mambo na feeding ndo hapo sasa fertilizers zinakujia. Unapata kuna tumeapply mambo na NPK, kuna hizo calcium, kuna magnesium, kuna urea. Hizo zote huwa tunatumia.
Despite its benefits, herbs farming faces challenges from plant diseases, often caused by climate change and pathogens. These diseases vary depending on environmental conditions and seasons.
Recommended chemicals zenye tunafaa kutumia. Hatutumii tu any chemical. Okay, kuna zile chemical yes zinaweza tumika ku control pests and fungal diseases, lakini kuna zile specific zenye ziko recommended. Hizo ndo huwa tunatumia. Tuseme mostly inakuwa attacked na caterpillar. Caterpillar mara mingi huwa tunatumia Dynamic. Ndio huwa inaimaliza, ama tunatumia dawa ingine kidogo inaitwa Alonze.
Katika kuboresha uzalishaji wa mimea ya viungo, teknolojia ya kisasa imekuwa nguzo kuu katika kuimarisha mimea hii. However, technology has become a major solution. The use of drip irrigation ensures that each plant receives the right amount of water. Additionally, fertigation applying fertilizer through the irrigation system has improved efficiency. Nutrients are delivered directly to plant roots through pipes, enhancing growth and productivity.
Tunaifungia hapa. Unaona tukifunga hapa haitumii hii. Hiyo ni maji peke yake inaenda. Lakini tukifunga hapa hivi tufunge hapa, nikifunga hapa na nifungulie hapa. Unaona? Inamaanisha sasa inakuja inapanda, inaenda. So wakati inapanda, hii nayo inafanya the opposite of this. Hivi, hii inaanza kuvuta. Wakati inavuta hii dawa. Mix na hii ikienda.
For example, tarragon requires less water but is highly susceptible. To diseases. Within just 2 months, it is ready for harvest. It is widely used to enhance the flavor of foods, especially in the preparation of meat, poultry, fish, and various sauces. Rosemary is used in both food and beverages such as tea, while mint is known for its refreshing taste. Mint can be harvested every 2 weeks for up to 2 years before replanting.
Rosemary inatumika kwa njia zenye mimi najua sana. Wengi wanaitumia kwa chakula kama chai, inakuletea kale ka flavor fulani kama tu vile mint inafanya. Lakini pia rosemary inatumika sana ku press mafuta. Hiyo oil inatumika sana kwa nywele. Yeah.
After harvesting, the products are packed according to international standards, ready for both local and export markets. This reflects the strong growth potential of this profitable venture. The produce is packed in 100 grams bundle in 1 kg and placed in special boxes. Newsprint paper is used to absorb moisture and enhance the product's presentation in the market. Through the use of organic farming methods, modern technology, and growing market awareness, it is clear that herbs farming holding great potential to economically uplift farmers across the country. Akida Kasim, KUTV.
All right, welcome back. And we are seated. Once we are seated, it's about to get down on discussions surrounding money. But today we are talking of a little different thing, which is also importantly directed to money, because once you are good mentally, your health is okay, you're also set for making money. But if that is not on the right trajectory, then there's a possibility of you getting all your funds directed to the same. So that means you will be doing bad economically. Now, I am seated with Bethuel Okumu, who is a medical student right here at Kenyatta University and a champion for, youth health and, of course, blood donation. This morning, we are about to talk about myths and misconceptions surrounding the same and getting educated why this is important. Allow me have Bethuel introduce himself to you back at home. Bethuel, karibu sana.
Okay, my name is Bethuel Okumu. I am a medical student right now in 5th year. And apart from being a medical student, I'm a part of an organization called Standing Committee on Public Health, which is a committee in Medical Student Association of Kenya, which is a body that encompasses medical students around Kenya. Mm-hmm. And so I'm the chair of that organization, and our main goal is to educate students and staff and the public about all aspects of public health. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now today we chose on youth health and blood donation as part of our program for June 2026.
All right. I see, that's a very good thing. Now, it's been 5 years since you joined campus. Don't you get tired of schooling?
Yeah, it's a bit hectic, but yeah, we have to lock in.
All right. I guess that is why most medics are really complaining out here. And I hear Davji really voicing your frustrations for you, saying that you get to hospitals, you're frustrated, you are an intern, but then you're left to run the hospital. Is that the case that is happening?
Yeah, that's the truth on the ground out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a tough thing, but we have to go through that as part of our formation.
Umesema hii title ya kuwa daktari haikuji on an easy way.
Yeah, you have to earn it.
All right. Now let's get to the youth health and the blood donation. In the country, we constantly hear blood shortages and all that. So why is that so? Why do we keep having shortages, despite the fact that we hear all these drives going on in the country, let's come together, donate blood, but we still hear the shortages?
Okay, when you look at our country is economically, we are in a developing country. And our majority of our population is the young people. And there are things that come with the young population. So, and especially on the risks that the young people engage in. So we have a lot of road traffic accidents, trauma cases, and there is normally a constant need for blood in hospitals. So despite having all these donation drives, they are not meeting the adequate need for our population. Yeah, that's the reason we still advocate for people to donate blood, and we want to educate them on who needs to donate blood, what is needed, where to donate blood, and what are the risks and benefits of blood donation, and the whole thing around youth health.
So apart from those people who get to having accidents and getting to hospital needing urgent transfusion, who are the other groups of people that really need that blood is in storage for them to get easy access to the same?
Okay, first I'll like to educate on what is health first. As by the WHO definition of health is a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being. And that definition is important when it comes to blood donation, because blood donation is collection of blood from a healthy person voluntarily. So when we are thinking of blood donation, the first person who should donate blood should be a healthy person. Therefore, we should meet the eligibility criteria for the physical well-being, social well-being, and mental well-being. Now, when it comes to people who need blood, we have the different types of blood donation. We have whole blood donation, platelet donation, and then we also have another type of donation which is not very common, but it happens in Kenya. It's called autologous donation, where, for example, you're going to need surgery in the next 4 months. So you donate blood, your own blood 1 month prior, then it's stored in a freezer or in a fridge. Then during surgery, because you'll need the blood, then they'll give you back your own blood. That's important, especially in patients who have chronic diseases and their health is deteriorating. So you don't want them to, and they'll need blood, but it's not an emergency issue. So they can donate their own blood, then need later. But other people who normally need blood in our setting, the first category, which is the most prevalent one, they are women who have given birth, and in what we call postpartum hemorrhage. It's the highest cause of maternal deaths in Kenya and in Africa, accounting to greater than 60% of all maternal deaths. And therefore it means that most women who give birth in the first 3 to 4 days and they are experiencing postpartum hemorrhage, they'll urgently need blood donation. So that's one population. Another population I told you about is the young people in road and traffic accidents, and also people with blood disorders, like people with sickle cell disease, hemophilia.
All right. Now, is it that we really don't get the extent of the need that we have as a country of having fuller blood banks, or is it that we are just ignorant and we lack information concerning the same?
I think it's both, because you'll find that most public hospitals, like in the county hospitals, which are mostly level 4 or 5, some of them don't have blood banks, or they are there but they are not functioning. So so meaning our policy on blood donation is not highly funded, or their management issues around it, and therefore it will lead to deaths that might be preventable in our public and county hospital setting. Then they also have an issue about ignorance, where people they have not fully convinced on how to donate blood, when to donate blood, and the benefits. And some people believe donating blood might make their blood be used for other purposes, which there are myths out there. Some people fear donating blood, saying it will be used for other things that are not medical. Therefore, they fear donating blood.
There's that narrative. I think I've also heard of it, of the spirituality of the same, but I think that's a myth if you clarify it for us.
Some are myths. For example, people thinking when you donate blood, it's going to be used for spiritual things that will come at you. I think that's a myth, because with blood donation you are giving out blood that's going to be given to another person. It's not that they are taking your spirituality away when you look at from the health perspective of it. Yeah, but matter spiritual vary with individuals. Then there are also now when it comes to medical ethics, there are churches which they are against blood donation, and the medical field respects that. For example, the people from Jehovah's Witness, their faith does not allow them to have blood transfusion to their faithfuls. So what we normally do, we try to give them non-blood products, which are a bit expensive, but we normally try. And if it's a situation where it's a life or die situation, then it will be upon the patient to decide whether to get blood or to choose. And if they choose that they don't want the blood, then you respect that, because that's part of our medical ethics.
All right. Now, are there advantages of someone donating blood prior, even if you are not having, you're not expecting to be having, what you talked of, a surgery in coming months, or maybe you're not having a relative who is in need of the blood? Are there advantages of me, Sylvia, going and donating blood and being on record for donating blood?
Yeah, there are advantages. Okay, and the most important advantage is you will be somewhere knowing that you are constantly saving a life, because in every minute there is somebody in need of blood in a certain place in Kenya. So when you're donating blood, you are constantly saving a life out there. There are also other advantages. For example, you will get to know your blood group. Some people are not aware of their blood groups, and that's important when you are in need of, where you're in a health crisis, and you might prevent some severe reactions. For example, I've had cases where a patient comes in, they tell you they are blood group A, and you are not sure, and it's a trauma case, so you have to manage the patient within like the first 1 minute, which is the golden minute. So if you get the wrong information about their blood group, you might give them a blood that is not their type, and that might lead to the death of that person. And so knowing your blood group is very important to your health, and also somebody needs blood, then you can save their life immediately. Then you will also get to know to have a full screening on the basic things, the basic illnesses that you might not be aware of. Some people come, you screen them, and they have never known they have this disease. Then that's the chance they get to have a full body screening and know their health status.
Now clarify this for us, that if you donate blood and then you are in need of blood later on, you're given priority with the blood that is in the blood bank. Is that true or false?
Okay, in most cases, when you are a blood donor, you'll have a blood donor card. So when you go to a health facility, they know that you are a blood donor. If you need blood, ethically, or when you come to the human aspect of it, being human, people will get to think like you should be given the first priority. But in healthcare, we normally say there is an eligibility criteria for who should need blood donation, and if you're having 10 people and the blood is very few, who should you give priority? So it's part of medical ethics. It's a hectic process, but we normally don't say we will give you priority because you are a blood donor when there's somebody who is in need of more blood, who is in constant need of death. So it will depend with the medical ethics of the facility.
It will depend with the level of urgency. And okay. Now, with the young people, we are talking about youth health. Why is it that they are the most active people, energetic, but then again we find very few of them sign up for blood donation? We used to have them blood donation in high school. We used to see them come a lot, but in campus not so much. Why is it that the young people are the most energetic, but then we find very few of them going for these donations?
Okay, I think it's about awareness, because most young people, they have not had conversations about blood donation, or even the high school thing. Most of them, some were imposed on some people, and they think that was wrong then. So I think we should promote awareness among around blood donation and youth health, and also tell them about the eligibility of who should donate blood. For example, the current CDC, Center for Disease Control of America, and WHO dictates that a person who is eligible to donate blood must be between 18 years to 65 years. So, and you'll find a young generation is from 18 to 35. So and that's the population that is the most healthy when you look at the pyramid for the ages. So they are the most eligible populations to donate blood. Then they should also not have any underlying acute illness or chronic disease condition. Should be at least 50 kgs and have the minimum hemoglobin level required, which is around 12.5. And so when you look at that eligibility criteria, it's normally the young people who will fit in all of those. You will not find an old person fitting in all that. And therefore, when young people are not donating blood, then we'll always have a deficit because the population that needs to donate blood is not aware of blood donation.
All right. Now, what about the eligibility of blood donation between one donation to the next? How long should this be? And what are the consequences of, not following that rule?
So when you donate blood, we normally give a period of 12 weeks to the next blood donation if you're a frequent donor of blood. And if you're also a frequent donor of blood, there will always be guidelines that will be given to you on your lifestyle living, because if you're a blood donor, you should not be having a disease at the time of donation. For example, malaria, syphilis, HIV, you cannot donate blood. Those are big no's to blood donation. Yeah, so you will always be told what to do and what not to do. But if you donate when the period of 12 weeks has not ended, then it will be a risk to your health, because the 12 weeks are around 120 days, around 120 days. So if you're donating blood in that period, within that period when it has not reached, your body system will not have produced enough hemoglobin level in your blood. So you'll be giving out, and you'll be having a big deficit in your body, and that will lead to cardiovascular compromise, and it can even lead to death. Therefore, we don't normally advocate for that, because it's a risk to your health.
Are there any risk with donating blood that someone may encounter?
Yes. So we normally have the immediate risks or effects. The most common thing that people fear is venipuncture, which is the pricking of the needle. Some people are very they are very fearful of that. So sometimes it can be painful. Then it can also, if the procedure is not done right, it can cause phlebitis, infection of the vein, or an injection. So because normally blood donation should be a sterile procedure and should be done by qualified health personnel. So if it's done by a quack, it can cause serious infection in the donor. Then we also have something called the vasovagal effect, or vasovagal syncope, where you donate blood, then you're not getting adequate rest, or the fluid levels in your body goes very down. Therefore, your brain and your heart responds by trying to put the pressures high, and there is not enough blood, so it leads to fainting. So normally that's why when you're donating blood, you should have a period of between 15 to 20 minutes for observation at the facility. Then when you go home, you get adequate rest, and you hydrate enough to replace the fluids in your body.
You've mentioned of quacks. How do we identify quacks?
Okay, normally when you go to donate blood, the organization that is carrying out the blood donation, you should always try to ask them, are you an eligible organization, or do you have a license of operation? Because those questions are very important, because some people may come, some organizations may come to donate blood, and the people who are collecting the blood are not qualified personnel. And so they collect blood wrongly, and it leads to effects to you, or even to the receiver of that blood. Therefore, it's always important that you ask the eligibility of that organization, and if that organization is registered in Kenya or under which institution, because that's important in ensuring that there is quality of care to both the donor and the recipient. Because blood donation, as much as it can be life-saving, it can also be it can also lead to death immediately if it's not done rightly, both to the donor and to the recipient.
All right. Now you've mentioned of chronic illnesses and all those health conditions that may bar one from being a donor. So are there unhealthy living ways that probably the young people might be having that might prevent them from being donors that they should be looking at?
Yes, because when you look at the pillars of health among the youth, there are around 8, and the major ones, the number 1 is physical well-being, which merely the absence of illness. We are talking about things like diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases, liver diseases, blood disorders. Yeah, so when you're having such conditions, then they are normally a big no to blood donation. And there are ways we can tell you to modify your living. So for example, things like diabetes and hypertension, they are preventable things. So when you promote healthy living, like good sleep, exercise, good nutrition, you can prevent that. Then you also have sexual and productive health, which is a very big issue among the young people. Yeah, things regarding unsafe abortion, teenage pregnancies, yeah, STIs, HIV. Yeah, so and now prevention of the same, which is improving access to sexual and reproductive health. Yeah, practicing safe sexual practices. Yeah, HIV testing and screening, which are all important to youth health and blood donation. Then we also have nutrition, which is a big factor, especially among young people. It's normally a big issue among the females. Yeah, especially iron deficiency and junk food intake. So when you're having iron deficiency, you cannot donate blood because your HB will be very low. And females normally have menstrual periods every month. So when you combine that with inadequate food intake or poor nutrition, then it will lead to iron deficiency, and now it will exclude them from donating blood and also compromise their health. Yes.
So from what I get, for you to be a donor, you need to be an all-rounded healthy person, physically, mentally, yes. your health in terms of diseases and all that. So apart from blood donation, how else can the young people contribute to, community well-being and good health?
Okay, the young people should address our various aspects of health. For example, mental health, which is a big issue in campus. Things to do with suicide. Yeah, then we call this depression. Some people don't know the difference between stress, anxiety, and depression. Yeah, so going through academic stress, then it goes on for a long time. You get into depression or anxiety, then you may attempt to commit suicide. So that will compromise the health of the youth. So when we have discussions about how to better mental health among campus students, like provide platforms for them to express themselves and their problems and how we can promote their well-being in terms of counseling, psychotherapy, among other things, then we promote the general well-being of the youth. Then also things to do with drug and substance abuse, alcohol abuse and tobacco smoking, vaping. Those are trends in campus, and most young people engage in them for fun, but they don't know the health risk that come with it, especially alcohol. Alcohol is it leads to very detrimental effects on the population because it leads to liver damage. It can also cause psychosis, anxiety, and even it can trigger schizophrenia. So when you combine all that with the lifestyle that the youth is having without knowing, then they may get to a place where they're having a health disorder, then they don't know where it came from. Yeah.
All right. Fair. Now, as we conclude, talk to us about the current campaign that you guys are having and who should participate, when they should participate, and everything in between.
Okay, because this month is a month for youth health and blood donation, so we are doing various blood donation campaigns. For example, this week we are doing a blood donation campaign at KNH, which is our organization is the main sponsor. So at KNH grounds, we are doing blood donation from Monday to Wednesday, every day. Yeah, so when you feel like you meet the eligibility criteria, you just want to go know your blood group and all that, you can go there, donate your blood. Yeah, and it's open for every member of the public. We also do online campaigns, so we have discussions around youth health, blood donation, so that people get to ask questions about blood donation, the myths, so that we can dispel those myths and generally lead to education of the public.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, now that is very much in order. I hope your viewers, you have gotten all you need to know about blood donations. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to the organization. Like Bethel has said, it is currently ongoing at Kenyatta National Hospital, so you can visit the venue from Monday to Wednesday, and get more information on the same. And also, just so you know, you can know your blood group for free.
Yes. And you can also contact us through social media. We normally at SCOF LOKU, or you can just type there SCOF, then you will see organization there. Tap on any organization, then we'll get to know. You just say you are from KU, then we'll get to you, so that you can, if you, in case you have any questions or you want to take part in our activities, yeah, you're always welcome. If you're a KU students, yeah, we are medical students, so when you come to the School of Medicine, you'll get us there.
Yes. All right, thank you so much, Bethel, for making time for us this morning. I hope everything is in order, and if at all you have any more questions, you can always get to the website to get more of the same. This has been On the Launch, talking about youth health and of course blood donation. Coming up next is a discussion on the state of the nation, and of course that is on Newspaper Review. Stay tuned for the same.
The Ministry of Health, through the Pharmacy and Poisons Board (PPB), is spearheading efforts to elevate Kenya's regulatory system from Maturity Level 2 to the globally recognized Maturity Level 3 benchmark. The upgrade signals a stable and integrated framework capable of ensuring the safety, quality, and efficacy of medicines. Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale said the milestone goes beyond regulation, describing it as a strategic step towards transforming Kenya into a pharmaceutical manufacturing and innovation hub. He noted that stronger systems would attract investments and expand export opportunities for locally produced medicines.
Unqualified person does not masquerade as a healthcare professional and place the lives of our citizens at risk. Patient safety must always remain non-negotiable. Of the many reforms I'm introducing, one of the things that disturbs me most is care of a patient has never been a concern in our country. So the care of a patient, the safety of a patient, must be our top priority. So it's not going to be negotiated. So I therefore reaffirm the military support for the Pharmacy and Poison Board journey. They have done very well. They will attain ML3, WHO Maturity Level 3 status.
If Kenya meets the required standards, it will join Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Egypt, Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal, and South Africa, which have already been certified under those national standards.
So before the end of the year, we'll either go to Geneva or the Director General of WHO will come and deliver ML3 to President Ruto in State House. And that is my performance contract. If I don't deliver, I have no job. So we must ensure that fake, substandard, falsified medicines have absolutely no place within our supply chain. And I'm sure the CEO of Digital Health Agency, the CEO of SHA, the Presidential Advisor, the CEO of Pharmacy Board, they will not leave. They will remain here. They will tell you how we are going to stop that.
Health officials unveiled their aim to boost local manufacturing capacity while ensuring sustainable access to medical products. They raised concerns of unqualified personnel posing as health professionals, assuring actions for any cases.
We want to say that we want to increase our manufacturing capacity from the 20% that are manufactured locally in the KEML to about 60 to 70%. And this can only be done by ensuring that pharmacists are committed to ensuring that we attract investments in terms of the environment, as well as workforce planning is done in an effective way. Over the past year, PSK has also intensified efforts around public health and harm reduction.
And it is not going to be done routinely as you're used to. Already we have collected very good evidence. We are analyzing. If unfortunately you are among those on that list, we are coming. Unfortunately, it will not be so good. We revoke your licenses, and the superintendent pharmacist will face the disciplinary committee, and the appropriate regulatory action will be taken.
As Kenya targets to advance pharmaceutical standards, stakeholders describe the step as a turning point in securing safe, accessible, locally produced medicines for Kenyans. Jacinta Haweri, KUTV.
Miti miti, panda panda, miti miti. Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of EarthCheck. Welcome.
Kama wazazi wako.
Shetani ashindwe.
Why are you trying to kiss?
I get it.
Move.
Senator Majority Leader Arun Cheriot has said that the government should source funds to support the tea sector from other revenue streams instead of imposing the levy on tea farmers. The proposed levy under the Tea Levy Regulation 2026 is intended to finance programs aimed at improving the competitiveness of Kenya tea in the global market and protecting small-scale farmers from price fluctuation.
During the difficult days of the other subsectors of agriculture, money used to be taken from the tea subsector to support coffee, sugar, dairy, livestock, all these other sectors. It is now time that money is taken from other sectors to support the tea sector also.
Embu Governor Cecilia Mbarire supported the call, saying that tea farmers are already facing high production costs and difficult economic conditions.
Tunakuomba ukirudi waambie rais umesikiza hao wakulima. Hatujafurahi. Mtoe hiyo kitu, tutapanga mahali kwingine.
Other leaders, including Embu Senator Alexander Mundingi and Embu Women Representative Njoki Njiru, have also urged the government to listen to the concerns of tea farmers and withdraw the proposed 0.8% levy to protect the livelihood and economic well-being of the thousands of tea farmers across the country.
Kwa hivyo mazao yetu wiki jana, mambo ya manjani, nilisoma statement na uliza mkubwa wangu majority, ukienda pale ile statement yangu uende uongee na ile kamati yangu, weke mkazo hiyo kitu mpaka tafute kitu inaitwa ndero, ndio mwananchi kuenda na jaile na vaa 0.8 iweze kuondolewe, ndio mwananchi aweze kupata bei ile inavaa. Si hapo tuko sawa, tuko sawa.
The leaders insist that supporting the tea sector through farmer-friendly police rather than imposing additional tax will help improve farmers' income, boost exports, and maintain Kenya's position as one of the world's leading tea producers. Fatma Munyamisi, Runinga KU.
Anyango Mombasa Business Mapping and Digital Discoverability Campaign Program is set to provide businesses with verified digital addresses, mapped location, and digital profiles. Officials say the system will reduce the challenges caused by unclear direction that have long affected trade and service deliveries in many parts of the country.
Anyango gives every business an address, an identity, and much needed digital presence. It is Kenya's first comprehensive business addressing system that provides businesses with 1, a verified digital address, 2, an accurately mapped out location, 3, a professional business profile, and 4, a trusted identity through a unique QR verification code.
The project will be implemented through a partnership with Nextray Africa Limited, using geographical information system, digital registers, and automated addresses to create a reliable business directorate. Small and medium-sized enterprises are expected to benefit the most, particularly those operating in informal settlements and faster-growing trading centers.
As our technical infrastructure partner, they bring world-class capabilities in GIS mapping, digital registries, QR verification systems, and of course, scalable digital platforms. This collaboration represents more than just technology. It represents a shared commitment to empowering businesses, strengthening enterprise growth, and creating opportunities for every entrepreneur.
According to KNCCI Mombasa Chapter Chairman Abdul Jamal, the initiative will increase business visibility, attract more customers, and improve access to investment opportunities and financial services.
Anyango ensures that every Biashara, regardless of its size, becomes visible, accessible, and of course, trusted. There's no more confusing of directions, no more missed opportunities, no more invisible businesses in Mombasa.
For residents, the project could mean faster access to goods and services, easy delivery of products, and improved business opportunities. As more enterprises join the digital directory, Mombasa may take another step toward a more connected economy where no business remain hidden from potential customers. Yvonne Shirisha, KUTV.
The government continues to invest in digital infrastructure and training centers to equip youth with the skills required in the modern job market, according to the Principal Secretary for Information, Communication and the Digital Economy, Engineer John Tanui. The government is fully committed to implementing the digital superhighway agenda.
Delivery at Manyata TVC.
Tanui said Kenya has made significant progress in strengthening digital connectivity, with the Kenya now connected through 8 submarine cables landed in Mombasa.
Tunataka kuhakikisha nchi yetu iweze kupata nafasi ambayo inaletwa na digital space, na kwa hivyo tunahakikisha connectivity ya nchi yetu naweza songesha mbele. Huko katika Mombasa tunaweka submarine cables kuhakikisha nchi yetu iweze kuconnect na dunia nzima. Tayari tuko na over 8 submarine cables katika Mombasa. Na pia tunaanza kudiscuss, hata juzi rais amekuwa huko EU, tunadiscuss a new cable inaitwa Pluraman cable yenye itatupea connectivity ya Africa, India na huko Europe.
In addition, the government is continuing with its plan to roll out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable across the country, of which 40,000 kilometers have already been completed. It also working with members of parliament to establish digital center in all constituency to ensure young people have access to digital training and opportunities close to their communities.
Jambo la pili, tumefanya kazi na members of parliament na wengi wamefanya kazi kuhakikisha wamejenga digital hubs. Wamebadilisha sheria ya CDF ili pesa ya CDF inaweza fanya kazi ya digital hubs. Na kwa sasa tuko na karibu 300 ambao tunahusika na wao kuhakikisha tunaweka pia devices. Kuactivate institutions kama hapa Manyata tunaweka pia computers, na vile mulisikia concert team wakiongea, tumeshafanya almost now 350 digital hubs. Hapa
Embu Governor Sylvia expressed a delight at seeing more young people acquire digital skills, saying the knowledge will help them earn an income, become self-reliant, and improve their future livelihood.
The PS has come as the first step towards making sure we meet the President's pledges on this institution. Tumeletewa another 50 computers, so he has opened 2 labs, one with 60 computers, hiyo ingine with 40 computers, a total of 100 computers here in Manyata Vocational College. Of interest is I have seen the number of students benefiting from this.
She added that the county government will install street lights in the area to provide students with a safe and conducive learning environment, even during the night.
Program, and I'm happy that our young people can be able to get digital skills for economic development. From my side, kutoka kwangu mimi kama mama yenu, I will make sure katika hii budget tunaweka ya June, tutaweka street lights ambazo zitaweza kufika mpaka hapa for your security, ndio hata mkisoma mpaka usiku mnaweza enda nyumbani bila shida yoyote ya security.
According to the government, more than 1.9 million Kenyans have already benefited from National Digital Skills Training Program, while over 300,000 digital job opportunities have been created. The Manyata Jitume Center now joins 113 other centers supported by Cons Technopolis in equipping youth with global competitive digital skills. Fatma Munyamisi, KUTV.
Power lines have long been a hidden danger to Kenya's wildlife, particularly birds of prey and large mammals that inhabit conservation areas.
But these days we're getting so many birds coming into our rehab centres both at Naivasha and here on Soisambu, which have been electrocuted, giving you a good indication of just what percentage of birds are being electrocuted.
Every year, animals are electrocuted after coming into contact with electricity infrastructure, leading not only to wildlife deaths, but also frequent power interruptions.
CADAS and Kenya Power agreed to sign a 5-year partnership agreement, whereby CADAS will be providing solutions to protect wildlife, and also in that space of protecting, reduce animal based outages. When we started the project and while running workshops for Kenya Power staff, we realized that the awareness is a bit low. The awareness of coexisting of the power lines and the wildlife is a bit low.
Now, Kenya Power, through its Institute of Energy Studies and Research, has launched a 5-year wildlife protection program in partnership with US-based CADAS enterprises. The initiative will retrofit wildlife-friendly insulation covers on high-risk sections of electricity lines to prevent dangerous contact with live conductors.
These are made out of special kinds of plastic that really don't get affected by UV, and they don't break down in the sunlight, and they can take up to 33,000 volts of electricity. They insulate against that.
The pilot project has been launched at Soisambu Conservancy in Nakuru County, a key habitat for raptors including Aga buzzard and the Marshall eagle. The area has recorded repeated cases of bird electrocution because the birds often perch and hunt from electricity poles.
These are magnificent animals that we stand to lose, and now by fixing this problem, we can rest assured that they would be, fine.
Kenya Power says animal-related incidents account for nearly half of all power outages experienced on its networks, with wildlife alone responsible for almost a third of those disruptions.
And be able to say it support operations within Naivasha. There's a way it supplies all the way to Narok, so it's a major line.
Officials believe protecting wildlife will also enhance electricity reliability for thousands of customers.
So what we are doing today is addressing one of the big challenges that we have been having, where we have got wild animals, including birds, patching on these lines, occasioning power interruptions. So
the Lanet Naivasha transmission line, which cuts through Soisambu Conservancy, has frequently experienced outages linked to birds and even giraffes coming into contact with power infrastructure. Kenya Power says lesson learned from the pilot will guide expansion of the project to other wildlife hotspots across the country.
To birds of prey, we have an enormous variety of birds of prey. I personally have counted about 60 different species of birds of prey, although Kenya has one of the highest diversities in the world, about 103.
Additionally, we are required by legal instruments to ensure that we design and maintain our power lines to ensure safety to environment. So part of what we are doing is also to ensure that there are no electrocution in line with the requirements of the Energy Act 2019.
Beyond installing protective equipment, the partnership will also train Kenya Power engineers and technical staff on wildlife-sensitive electricity infrastructure, creating champions who will incorporate conservation into future power network designs.
This sort of technology, it has been there, it has been existing. You go to the US, you go to Asia, you cannot put a power line that probably will kill a bird. Not even raptor, just a bird. So, but in Africa, we have not embraced this technology.
As Kenya continues expanding its electricity network alongside efforts to conserve biodiversity, the challenge remains balancing development with environmental protection. For Kenya Power, success will not only be measured by fewer blackouts, but also by safer skies for birds and safer habitats for the wildlife that share the country's landscape.
It's no longer there if you are, especially if now you are AI compliant. So when you just present, once you splash your first slide, we are able to conclude whether you are AI compliant or not, going by the kind of slides that you are presenting. So this is what we talked about, prompt engineering. We also taught about prompt, how to talk to AI to give you the correct output. That is what we call prompt engineering. And that's why we are failing. So write clear, specific instructions. AI performs best when the task is unambiguous. Be very clear to what you want from AI. Be very clear. And start with verbs. Create, design, organize, rearrange. 2, give it clarity. 2, give it context. Provide role, audience, and purpose. You are a university lecturer creating notes for ECT 350 for undergraduate students in an Ivy League university so that it can give you the standards, the highest standards ever. Then, constraints. Define the format, the length, and style. Respond in 300 words, in bullet points, in APA 7th edition, all this. Like students here, you are here. I think nobody should now organize this one into APA format in terms of references. Once you take those references and you take them to AI, they can reorganize them, provided you give instructions that you want them in APA format. It's aware. It will do it for you. So, iteration, define the prompts progressively. Teach AI like a junior colleague you coach over time. We have moved from now generative AI. We talked about assistive AI. Now we are talking about agentic AI. AI working as co-work. It is like an agent. So as you are performing the task, and that's what I say, it is able to, like the example that I gave you of writing letters, it will always keep on telling you, check whether the letter carries all the content that you needed. Then down there, you can still give additional prompt. No, add this. add this, then it will be talking to you. More so, cloud, it will talk to you. What else do you want me to do for you? Can I send it now? It will tell you, no, send it to the draft. Or it can post it to the Google Drive. It is asking you. It is like they're talking about co-work or agent. So that's the thing. So prompt engineering, be very clear, give the context, give the constraints, the limitations, and we are saying define prompts as progressively as possible. You can even write a prompt. I tried to write a prompt of 3 paragraphs, and AI was able to respond to whatever I wanted. As you improve gradually depending on what you are receiving. So, agentic AI, it works as an agent. It is responding to you. Inducting Comtech department, academic team has not been mean. We have been very generous with our information. We have, in fact, though this is a dissemination, but we started disseminating earlier by sharing with the department, sharing with colleagues. I was also in this same room with the digital school, sharing the same message. We were in KUCC, sharing the same message with the digital school. So, following the WSB training, academic members systematically inducted colleagues in the Department of Education, Communication and Technology into the same AI tools and practices, creating a multiplier effect within Kenyatta University. We have done it. So, Comtech faculty trained, inducted around 21, because some have even come individually to our offices. I wish Dr. Kariuki was here. Then AI workshops 4 have been conducted, but what we don't know is about the level of uptake. That is an area that also needs to be researched on, the uptake of AI, use of AI by the faculty members in our university. So impact on pedagogy and the way forward, AI has elevated teaching quality and what comes next for Comtech. This is for department. Modules now include AI-generated visuals. I know what we have, even materials that people are creating even in our department. Everyone is talking about AI. So we can conclusively say that people have embraced AI. Lecture materials produced is easy or even 5 times faster with AI assistance. Even exams, standardized module quality across Comtech department and partner schools, video content via hygiene, has increased student maybe interaction rates, and that comes to, but now there's this point I wanted to check, also not that one. Sorry.
Not able to read, these are the people with hearing challenges, and even reading, they don't read the sentences the way we do. So is there an inclusion of the sign language in these, in the lessons or the units, courses?
That will be responded to by the PI.
One of our modules is called assistive technology. So that is where that has been handled, yes. And we were praying that we would have gotten a little more funding to actually buy the real assistive technologies. But then we were not able to voice some things and some readers as had been recommended. It didn't fit in the budget. So we have guided the teacher on what to do in terms of assistive technology when they find such diversities in the classroom. Yeah.
So I think the barriers and the challenges were maybe the budget constraints. And that's why the PI suggested that we might again go back after we complete. Maybe we write another proposal for another follow-up or something like that to confirm.
The LMS, that is the Learning Management Platform. Most of the things have been covered by Dr. Mwangi, but I'm just going to try to take you through what I have. So this presentation was made by me and Norman. Norman, you've been told he's one of us. He's the administrator in the DAB. So about the project, you've already been told also about the project, so I'm going to skip that slide. So this is how the learning management system from the inception. So what we did first was there was a need analysis that was done to ascertain the level of the teachers on how to use ICT equipments and how to maneuver the learning management platforms. So first of all, the engagements, we engaged the principals and teachers. They were mobilized. We use the principals mostly because they are the ones who are leading the institution, so they are the ones to give access or permission for the teachers to be engaged. So we also captured their data because in the learning management system we needed the information that we are going to put or to enroll the teachers in that system. So what we needed was the registration of the teachers, of which we captured their email addresses, the names, the phone numbers, and where they're coming from. Remember, we have teachers from Dadaab, Kakuma, Bosaso, and Mogadishu. So after the details, after we got the details of teachers, we now created the accounts. Remember, when you're logging in, just like your email or your Facebook account, you need to have a username and a password. So we enabled them in the LMS. That means we were able to create the 900 plus teachers in the LMS platform. And after that, so the teachers now were able to log in to the platform. Now, when we created an account, the system was automatically sending your logins to the email. That means you could get the username and the password. The password was temporarily used, and then you can change it and put it your own. Then the teachers now are able to choose the courses they would like to enroll in. Remember, the system had 10 courses in English at first, and the teachers were choosing the courses they would want to pursue, and they were allowed to choose any course. So they did the selection of the courses, and after completion of a specific course, let's say, for example, the teacher started with the digital assistive technology course, we would be able to enroll for a different course within the same period. And then the last one is, we're yet to come to this one because they are supposed to be given certificates for those who've completed. Now, the teachers were mobilized. Remember, these are teachers in Kakuma, and they would not make their own, they would not decide that I want to do without the knowledge of the principals. So the school leadership was engaged, the local authorities also, and the implementers. The mobilization channels, remember, we were having constant communication, and also the physical meetings. We had WhatsApp groups, email, and also the physical meeting. Remember, Dr. Mwangi also traveled to Dadaab, and he was able to interact with the teachers.
All right, welcome back. We are seated once again, ready for the discussion on the state of the nation. And of course, we are talking about the newspapers that we are having this morning. We are having the Daily Nation and the Standard, which are the primary papers that you are going to be having, because most of the papers are having the headlines or the stories almost similar to each other. But allow me have the guests introduce themselves to you. On my immediate right, let me begin with the ladies first. We have Amina Kazungu, who is a youth leader currently at ZTEC. She's a coastal leader. Allow her greet you. Amina, karibu sana.
Okay, thank you very much. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban. Good morning, my good people. My name is Amina Kazungu. Najivunia kutoka kule Pwani, sehemu ya Kilifi, Mtwapa. A youth leader in the coast region, mostly Kilifi, and also cyber security and forensic analyst from ZTEC University. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Karibu sana. And of course, we're also joined by our very own Blue Smile Hassan.
Thank you very much for this opportunity once again. I treasure this opportunity like the day I was born, because I was born by the warrior spirit of Fumu Liongo. I live and abide by the virtues of Karisa Maitha, of helping the downtrodden, and I also abide by the vision of one Ronald Ngala, of making sure that we transform the coast region. And that's why I stand to you today, not just as a journalist, but as the president of Vuguvugu la Vijana na Maendeleo Pwani. Our business is making sure that our rural areas in the coast region are developed. We are here to change the coast region, to change the coast story. Thank you.
All right, I couldn't have done it any better with the introductions. Today we're having the coastal region leaders, and Kiswahili kitatukuzwa hapa, but kidogo mtatusamea, sisi ni watu wa Homa Bay.
Kiswahili si mdomo chenu.
Kiswahili si mdomo, but then again, we are journalists, a bilingual station, so we will cruise regardless. We're having 2 newspapers this morning. All of them are touching on what transpired last week in relation to finance bill protest. And right now we are talking of a different story. We are talking about abduction, a question that is ongoing in the country. Everyone is asking that question. Is abduction back? It's not like it had gone, but then we had stayed for some time without having those cases of abduction, and we also had a wave of, compensation of victims of, police brutality, enforced disappearances, and everything in between. The Standard is asking, Mr. President, why? The Daily Nation is saying abduction victims, harrowing ordeals. So I am asking the same question that Kenyans are asking. Are we back to, I will not say Moi era, because in Uhuru's regime there was also abduction. So you're asking the question, is abductions back? Are abductions back? Lusme.
First of all, if at any point I supported abduction, please forgive me. I am now reborn, and I have now a clear focus on where this country needs to be headed to. I am a very serious individual, because one, I think we are living in an era that speaking out our minds and speaking to power is becoming a crime, of which it is not according to this constitution. Perhaps it was a crime during the Moi era, but now it is not a crime. So why should they return abduction? One, it tells of a state or a government that is very fearful of its citizen. Why should the government be fearful of its citizen while it is the people that make up the state? So one, we do not need to have this abduction. For me, I say that it is unnecessary. If you want to arrest me, Sly, come to me with a court, what do you call it?
Court order.
It's called?
Court order.
Court order, yeah, sorry. Come to me with a court order, arrest me. If I resist arrest, then you have the right to add for me the offense of resisting arrest. So why should you come to me as a goon? Because I have to be fearful now. As I walk in the streets, I have to be fearful of the goons. I also have to be fearful of the police, because like Jesus, they will come back like thieves. And for them, it's even worse, because thieves are better than goons, and goons are worse. You see, as a Kenyan citizen, I live at a point of fear, because I do not know who is my enemy. Am I safe in the police hands, or am I safe in the goons' hands? Because we cannot differentiate for sure. Mm-hmm. For me, I see that 4 people were abducted, and I do not support those abduction whatsoever. At no point will I support anyone to be abducted in this country. If the DCI truly had business with these 4 individuals in connection with the June 25th protest, they had the right of arresting them using court orders. Why should they arrest them in a way that is not as per the law? Perhaps if abduction is the way to go and abduction is for the law, they should show us. In fact, if abduction is up to the law, if they are following the law through abduction, kindly don't come with your faces hidden in a mask. Come to me as strong as you are, because you are the state, you're the state machinery, you have the power. Come to me with the confidence you have. You don't have to abduct me in a road. You don't have to come block my car, abduct me. Just do it very diligent, because as per you, it's as per the law. So you can do it very confidently. If they are not doing it confidently as I'm speaking right now, it means that it is not according to the law. So if it is not according to the law, then it has to stop. If it happened yesterday, it does not guarantee that it has to continue happening. Abduction needs to stop. We need to see a future with no abduction. If you want to arrest me because I've broken the law, come arrest me as a man. Don't come as a thief.
Okay. And I wonder if we are still told the phrase, if you're arrested, you know the phrase that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in the courts of law. Is that something that we're even told in this country? Because we're always seeing people
no, they don't give you that time to even say. In fact, they say that you are guilty, you are innocent until charged guilty by a court of law. But even as I'm arrested, I'm treated as a guilty person already. I have to be presented at a court of law, in front of a judge, in front of a magistrate, so that I can be sentenced, and the judge will prove if I am innocent or guilty. But am I given that chance as a Kenyan citizen? I am not. And today, the reason why I am so vocal about this is today we are seeing political abductions. Tomorrow we will see economic abductions. Anyone who perhaps will have a divergent view, not just a political view, will be abducted. And it will be a norm. Today, police are doing abductions. Tomorrow, there will be goons doing the same abduction. We will not be able to differentiate if these abductions were done by the police or these abductions were done by genuine goons, for lack of a better word. So, if I am to go missing, where will my parents go find me? Will they go to a police station? Will they wait for a ransom call? So, you're spoiling this country.
All right. Now, the standard is saying that the alleged torture and enforced disappearances of Kenyans by those entrusted with enforcing law will inevitably shape your legacy. That is an address to the president. What do you make of that?
Okay, first of all, from my understanding, every Kenyan has a constitutional right. The right to life, right to liberty, right to security. So for me, abduction ni kwenda kinyume na malengo yaliyo kwa sasa. For example, in the June 25th protest, very early in the morning, around 3 or 4 a.m., already tulikuwa tunaona kuna ma G4S everywhere, GSU everywhere, meaning that the state iliogopa watu wake. So I'm against the abduction, and families are crying out here. The likes of Davis Lichuma, mwenye alikuwa abducted via, he's an activist. So alikuwa abducted, that was very wrong of the state or even the police officers. Out here, everyone is saying that at least sasa for now, the police officers ama watu wenye walihusika na kitendo kama hicho, very bad of them, and people are really crying that it's better. People are asking if is it because that our watu wanachukuliwa with a, I'm sorry to say, a very low grade as a D minor. That's why brutally killing people or even abducting people. So for me, I don't know what you guys are saying about that, but for me, abduction is a very uncouth thing in Kenya, and because you're living in a democratic country, then it will be right when we follow the rules of the law.
What do you make of the story of Ruto's legacy? Because seemingly, hazungumzi chochote kuhusu abductions, apart from the fact that anasema kwa yale mabaya yaliyotendeka kwa wale waliuawa, poleni, tutawapa fidia. But then again, beyond that, nothing is being said about what is currently happening in the country.
Yes.
We only hear of orders, wapige risasi kwa miguu, but then we never hear of aliyepiga risasi mtu ambaye anaandamana peacefully afanywe hivi hivi. So what do you make of Ruto's legacy and the talk of his legacy in regards to abduction and excessive use of force?
Okay, the excessive use of force ni tendo ambalo linafaa kukashifiwa sana kwa nchi yetu. The president, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, he gives orders, or maybe through his CSs like Murkomen, that maybe watu wanafaa kuuliwa ama watu wanafaa kufanywa hivi. Watu wakienda kwa protest, si wote wanakuanga na njia mbaya ama fikra mbaya that tutaenda protest, tuende maybe tuharibu vitu vya wenyewe ama tufanye this and this. So that these peaceful protesters wenye wanaendanga just to get at least wakuwe listened by the government, but the government imechukua hatua that hata wale wenye wanaenda for peaceful protesters pia hao lazima maybe wanauliwa ama wanajipata kwa majeruhi. I feel like the president should anafaa kuangalia sana haya maneno ya watu kuuliwa na kuwa abducted, because hata fidia yenye anawapatia, the money that anawapatia ili iwalipe. The other day we saw a woman kwa TV ana complain sana that 3 million yenye anawapatia na imekuwa kwa financial budget ya the next year, hiyo pesa yenye anawapatia haiwezi ilinganishwe na mtoto mwenye alikufa. So these people are claiming that wanataka at least wenye waliua watoto wao ama wenye wamehusika na such kind of stuffs, then pia hao wanafaa kuchukuliwa hatua. And a good judgment inaweza kuwa maybe a lifetime, for me a lifetime imprisonment, ama hata I don't know if he's still doing the death, because itakuwa vibaya itakuwa vibaya tuki uwa watoto wa wenyewe na sisi bado we are living with other people's blood, which is really really wrong. So I'm against that, and Dr. William Samoei Ruto should really focus and look at that matter. At least afanye wale wa mama ama kina Albert Ojwang, watu wote wenye wameuliwa na police brutality waweze kuangamizwa ama hata waweze kupatiwa imprisonment. Yes.
And tukienda hapa kwa jirani, there is the first son. What tunakuwa na first lady, so yes. Is it the first son anyway, the son of rais wa jirani wetu hapa? Yeah. Alisema nyinyi NTV mnazungumza negative things about the government, you will get permission from me to get back on air. And he said that he does not believe in the freedom of the free media. Okay. He does not believe in the same. And in Tanzania, we've also seen allegations we've had allegations of suppression and all that. So in the country right now, we have a wave of abduction which is seemingly not ending. Do you feel threatened as someone who is aspiring to become a leader, someone who is aspiring to have a voice, someone who is aspiring to talk for the citizens? Do you feel threatened that with such emergence or uprising of suppression of freedom of speech, we might end up in a situation where you probably won't be free to speak? Because this does not just apply to normal citizens. Yes. We've seen leaders who things have happened to them just because they were opposing the government, just because hawakutaka bill flani ipite ama walivote differently kwa certain bill. So do you feel threatened as a Kenyan?
Okay, as a young youth leader in Kenya, the moment unaona watu wanaongea ama wanaongea maslahi ya vijana wenzao, alafu maybe the government, the moment you say the truth, na kama huko kwa serikali, basi unachukuliwa hatua ama unaanza kufinyiliwa chini. So I feel like ni kitu chenye kinafaa kisiwe, manake inafanya youths wakose ile urge ya kutaka kukuwa leaders baadaye. Maybe for example, we have the government party, the UDA, and we also have maybe DCP, we have Jubilee. So it means mimi nikijoin sahi party ya Jubilee, I won't have a say because I'm not in the government. Na nikisema kitu ambacho kiko against na UDA, then anyone from the UDA party ataanza kunifuata na kunieka chini. At the moment, I see that the moment umeonekana umeanza kuinuka, na maybe you talking of your young people, maybe for example, I'll give an example of Kilifi kama sahi nimesimama mimi kama mimi, and I want to talk, maybe I say the bad things the government of Kilifi is doing, then at some point the government itaniita iniambie this and this and this. So it's up to me to, pia sisi tunachangia, because leo nikifuatwa niambiwe usifanye hivyo, nitakupatia hivi na hivi. Unajua most of us not me but most of us tunajali, some people wanajali sana wanajali sana maslahi, so kule kutu wanaita tamula. So the moment umejali, umeka maslahi mbele kuliko growth ya government ama ya Kilifi, basi unajipata umeingia kwenye malengo ambayo hayafai. So I feel like the government inafaa kuacha anyone. In Kenya we have freedom of speech, so anyone who wants to talk or say anything, even if it's against the government, then they have a right to speak. At least they'll be passing a message that kuna kitu fulani kimesahaulika. Leo niseme barabara zetu hazijatengenezwa, ataenda ataketi nyuma, ata reflect that kuna barabara hazijatengenezwa, let me hata nifanye hata kidogo, at least they see I've done something. So it will be better kama government itatuachilia kama vijana, wasitu threaten, wasitupeleke places kutufinya ama kufanya nini. And to the media, wasiaribu. For example, I'm passing this information through a media platform, so hata kwa hiyo KTN, Citizen, NTV wanafaa kuacha, they do whatever they want to do, because there's freedom of speech and freedom of everything, freedom of security and everything.
Blue smile, do you feel threatened?
First of all, you see, I started this show by saying that I am moved by the spirit of Fumo Liyongo. Fumo Liyongo was a very fearless warrior. In fact, to make this thing interesting, he died with his bow and arrow ready to shoot the enemy. In fact, if it were not for the betrayal of his own son, Fumo Liyongo would have been even more of a legacy than we celebrate him today. So as I walk head high, shoulder high in the coast region, talking about development, I do not fear that someone might come to me. Because why do I not fear? I do not even fear the national government. I do not fear the county governments. Because I'm addressing things that are pertinent with the same people. Today, the governor of, say, Tana River comes from those rural areas. Before he got that office to be the head of the Tana River county government, he was living in those rural areas. If he was living in those rural areas, he understands the plight of my people. That you see, these rural areas have been abandoned forever. And that's the reason why we come as the young people in the coast region saying that, you see, do not focus all this development in the urban areas. Focus, what is your plan in these rural areas? In these 10 years that you will serve, let's say, if you're blessed by, those leaders in our coast region, they're very religious. They go to mosque, they go to churches, and they believe that for them to be in power, it is the God will. So let's say now it is the God will for you to be the governor of, let's say, Mombasa for 10 years. So is it really the will of the let me say God, not gods, for you to only serve the city of Mombasa alone, living alone, areas like Mikindani and other areas that have remained and developed for a very long time, that the roads there do not even have, they are not up to the standard, that if you construct a road today, after 5 months, the road has no drainage system, it is already spoiled. So if through my advocacy that I'm talking about the coast region, if I'm talking about the development of the coast region, through my advocacy that I feel like people are threatened with my advocacy, then it is okay. If it is against the law, let them come to me. Let them not abduct me, because it will be very, coward of them. Let them follow me with the right constitutional procedures and arrest me. In fact, anyone who wants to come, let them come with a court order. But all I'm saying is Kenya is not... is very different. It is not like our brothers and sisters in Uganda. Kenya is not like our brothers and sisters in Tanzania, if I may say even Ethiopia or even South Sudan, or even Somalia. Kenya is a republic, a true republic. we are a democratic country, that today you can challenge this the election of a president in a court of law. It is a dream to countries like Tanzania. You saw whatever happened. In fact, in Tanzania, they locked up the opposition leader and no one really had a voice. Today, Kizza Besigye in Uganda is locked up. They really don't have a voice. So if the country is such a wake, the kipaumbele, the slogan in the maendeleo ya vijana, vuguvugu la vijana na maendeleo pwani is Lamkani, is wake up. If we say wake up today, if we are calling for the coast people to wake up, it means that we have seen people that people have already woken up. We see that this country has already woken up and people are still sleeping behind in the coast region. Because tell me why, that if devolution has worked in this country, in some counties, why is it not working in our coastal counties? So through all this and through this advocacy, we believe that this country, not unless even if we have abduction, that we are better than other countries, and through us advocating for these things, people will wake up, and this country as a whole will also wake up and get to more extents. So on the Kizza, on the first son of Uganda, of him locking up media houses, I think it's so unfortunate. I'm a journalist, and I wouldn't wish for any country to go to such extents that a son of a president, I'm told that he is the chief of defense forces there. But again, we have jurisdiction. Do you know the Communication Authority of Uganda did not know about the closure? In fact, it became aware of the closure of NMG Uganda through Kizza Besigye's posts on X. So you see, it tells that the institutional, pillars in Uganda are very weak. That a person in power can simply go lock up a media station, and the Communication Authority is not aware. In fact, we have a problem here in Kenya. We are saying that the Communication Authority is kind of a government's tool, because we feel like the Communication Authority is being misused by the government. But at least the Communication Authority is doing its job. But in Uganda, the Communication Authority is not doing its job because it really does not have power. It is a toothless dog. And it is my prayer, apart from being a visionary in the coast region, I'm a Pan-Africanist. Mm-hmm. I am a true student of one PLO Lumumba. Mm-hmm. It is my dream, and it is the dream of every Pan-African, that Africa is liberated politically. That today in Africa, we do not have, it is a shame to Africa that a media station is being closed. Do you know, in the United States of America, the media is so powerful. It's very powerful that it can dictate who will become president. If we are to get to that state, to that standard as Africa, we need to allow media freedom, because trust me, it is General Muhoozi that is seeing this media in a different perspective. He's seeing this media as a threat. But this media could be a very powerful tool for General Muhoozi. It is not that it is only that he's not looking at it in our perspective, because he has power, he has money, and he can control the media. He does not have to threaten the media. So as I finish on this point, that Africa needs to wake up. The way Kenya, I last time on this show I said that Kenya is suitable enough to be the capital city of Africa. So we are not just saying this. We want every country in Africa to emulate Kenya. Whatever we are doing, even if we are saying Ruto must go, those countries should come and emulate us, and see what are we seeing that those people are not seeing. Because we are not saying Ruto must go because Ruto is not working. Ruto is working perhaps better than many African presidents. But because we have hunger of better, we want better as a nation. Africa needs better. We are setting the standard for Africa. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Now let's move to a little bit of politics that does not touch on abduction, because
Wait, to add on it, I feel like young people should be ready to hold these conversations, to participate maybe on the Kenyan conversations such as politics. We should turn our noises to votes, because hata venye my colleague has said here that tukisema Ruto must go and we don't have the votes, we don't have the hatutakuwa na say hata huko mbele. So it's high time that sisi kama youths we have to wake up. Tulikuwa na slogan tuko kadi, but most of us maybe tumechukua hizo kura na wengine hatujachukua. So we should stop that online thing. Tuingie kwa ground, tuchukue kura, na come 2027 wenye wanaimba maybe 1 term or even 2 term, twende to vote. Ndo kama mtu hataki the current government aone kama atatoa, ama kama anataka the current government hawezi kuvote. Because I feel like the big thing hapa ni votes. Ndo zina determine our next government.
Right. And I think we are also so blind to choosing our leaders. And I heard someone say that the people wale mashinani, they choose better leaders than sisi ambao tunajiona we are elites, sisi tumesoma, tumeenda shule. Those people who probably didn't go to school, they vote better compared to us because wao wanaangalia real problems. Tunataka barabara kutoka hapa kwenda hapa, ilikuwa na potholes, ametuwekea maram, so tukimrudisha maybe ataweka lami. Sisi tunaangalia, tunataka sijui tuwe na easy hubs za business hubs. We want to have those, yet hauna hata chakula. So our problems are ideological problems, and we forget of the normal problems that you are having. And I think it's something that we should also be looking at now that you are getting to political realignments ahead of the 2027 elections. The youths have a very weird problem of going with masses and propaganda. We really don't understand issues because I know I said you're not going to talk about abductions, but in Moi's government there was abduction. In Kenyatta's government there was abduction. In the second Kenyatta's government there was abduction. In Ruto's government there is abduction. All these leaders that we are seeing, that we are saying this one is better, were in those government that witnessed or that were administering abductions to its people. And then we come and talk of, please don't come for me, watu wa internet. We come and say one term, saying that we don't care anyone who is going to be there as long as Ruto is out of the office. That is really not being objective if we are really going to handle our problems, because all these people that we are saying that are on the line, we are not being objective in analyzing that, okay, this one has these characters, these are his faults. This one has these characters, these are his faults. And then we end up voting again the same regime with different faces, and then end up complaining towards the second year. So with the political realignments that you're currently seeing in the country, the Daily Nation is talking of a Munyoro delegation's push for Uhuru Gachagua deal. Gachagua was in Ruto's government. Uhuru, in his own governments, we had different bad things, very many bad things ongoing in the country. At one point, Uhuru said that, mimi siangali Twitter, kwa sababu vitu vinasema huko ni vingi, watu wanatusiana nini nini. The same thing that is happening in the current regime. So do you think that the young people have the sobriety to vote good leaders, or we are just playing politics and clapping for the people who feed us, because wanasema kukulisha is the one who is owning you?
The problem with this country is, one, we have a problem that we are being carried away with the agendas that are not ours. Today, if I say one term, it is not my agenda as a young person. It is the opposition agenda. Does the opposition agenda reflects with what I want as a young person when it comes to changing this country? Probably no. If I say two term, it is not my agenda as a young person. It is the agenda of the government. Does it reflect to what I want as a young person? Most likely no. Why? Because we are so much used to being fed propaganda and narratives by people, but we do not see it as a people, as a youth, and say we have a problem of unemployment. Let's just set an agenda and say what we want this government to do. We do not just complain, but bring solutions. If we bring solutions to unemployment as a youth now, we say that, you see, we are the 70% of this country and we do not have jobs, and we want solutions, innovations, and everything. Then we get the political way of going about it. I loved when we went to the streets and said that no to finance bill. But again, we did not have good structures and setting the agenda. The agenda was ours, yes, but it ended up being taken by the political class, and they really took good care of it because they have experience in setting the agenda. Today, when I sit here, I am setting an agenda in the coast region that I'm saying, if we are to vote, let us vote for development in our rural areas. Perhaps my agenda might be very weak, and perhaps I do not have the finances of financing my agenda. But you see, it is a very genuine agenda that people will resonate with it as time comes by. Because I'm just not saying that we do not have roads in our place. When I go to my grandmother's place in Vitengeni, in Ganze, in Kilifi County, the road is very poor. Mm-hmm. I did not just get agitated by the condition and say that, you see, the government has to do this. I'm saying, you see, the problem is not only in Vitengeni. The problem is in Kwale. The problem is in Lamu. The problem is in Taita Taveta. What should we do as a nation? Let's come with a development model that will come help this thing, this area. We are saying the other time I told you that we have the Mashinani First Development model that we are saying 70% of our county resources have to go to development. In terms of, we have 30% of the development as per the Public Management Finance Act. Public Finance Management Act of 2024 says that 30% has to go to development. Wage bill has to be not more than 35%. But you see, in all this business of the county and the business of the national government, the county government as a devolved unit has to give 30% of its revenue into development, which many people, many governors are castrating devolution by not abiding to it because they have a very huge wage bill that is surpassing the required 35%. So the problem I saw in Vitengeni when I was going to my grandmother's place because of that road made me come to birth with this idea of, we have to make sure that we take care of our rural areas first and everything has to go by it. I'm pushing this agenda and I am working with many young people from the coast region and telling them, you see, let's work this agenda. Let's transform these areas. Today, even if the enemy gets to power in 2027, let's keep pushing this agenda because at the end of the day, it will bear fruits and our coast region will cherish one of these days. It is a very long dream. So all I'm saying is we are living in people's else dreams. Today we are being pawns in other people's chess games because we are just people that are being used and being left. What are we really changing this country? We are not changing anything. Today we were saying to Kokadi back then, but what were we really pushing? Were we pushing young people to go back and vote the same leaders? Because the options are really Gachagua, Kalonzo, Ruto, and Matiang'i. Those are the options as per the presidency when we were saying to Kokadi. So we really did not have an agenda that we were pushing. We didn't have a presidential aspirant, a presidential candidate as a youth. If you hear that we are saying, let's have a presidential candidate as a youth, people see this thing as an absurd thing. But it is true because we are wasting our resources. We are wasting our time telling people go to Kokadi, go take votes, and then at the end of the day, we are electing other people that did not push this agenda of Nikokadi. If we are to put money, if we are to put our time, if we are to put our energy on a campaign, we really need to show the direction to these young people that, you see, we are doing this and this is the end goal. But you see, we were putting a lot of effort of saying this and that, Nikokadi, Niko what, but at the end of the day, it is as if we were just campaigning for these old guys because we really don't have a Gen Z candidate. Because as today, when you ask Ademba, who do you want to be president? You are the spearhead of this Nikokadi. He will tell you that we do not want Ruto, we do not want Gachagua. What is he saying? Mm-hmm. He's leaving these young people without any option. So if we leave these young people without an option, they will find themselves an option. The problem that we are in this country is because the leaders who are treating the youth as an afterthought. So if you do not think about us, we will think about ourselves and will bring problem to you. So the whole point is, if you are showing someone a direction, show them a clear direction. Don't show them a direction that you leave them to think for themselves. They'll go back to where they came from. And I'm telling you, the youth will not do anything different in 2027. They'll still vote for Ruto or Kalonzo or Gachagua or Matiang'i. They'll still vote for that person. Mm-hmm. So you ask yourself, what was the end goal of youth initiatives? What was the end goal of rejecting the finance bill? Mm-hmm. There was no, what was the end goal if we were to come back to voting the same leaders that we were saying that we do not want them because we do not have a clear structure. And it is a time for us as young people to sit down, have clear structures. I think the biggest thing is fear. We fear that if we have a Gen Z candidate, they will how do I say, they will still betray us. We should go beyond this fear. We should have proper structures. If we're saying that we are doing this initiative, let it have a leader. I am really excited with, I was really excited with Sifuna, although I did not support his initiative at first because I was looking at what is he really bringing on the table for the youth. But you see now Sifuna is telling me that he's going back to Gachagua. So what was the essence of Linda Mwananchi if at the end of the day they will go back to the opposition? They would have just joined the opposition after they were out of ODM.
All right, fair point. And they say that the most sober minds will be voting in former CJ, David Maraga. But most people are not ready for that conversation because we want to vote for the winning team.
But Maraga also betrayed us the other day during the protest.
Yes.
The moment there was a tear gas, his security team was very quick to get him out of the mandamano. So you see,
do you know, before I get to you on the sobriety of the young people, do you know that if we are with a president in the same room and something comes up that is of danger, even if the president says that I want to stay with the people, he's not allowed to stay with the people.
How many mothers were there? There were 3 or 4. He could just have whisked them away together with them. You see, that's our point.
All right, now you see, that is what I'm talking about, the sobriety of the young people. We are looking at Maraga left the women who are with the protesters right there. The same day, taking a look at the president, the same day that the Utumishi girls' fire was in the country, the president was having a breakfast. When the Gen Zs were protesting, the president was launching, Bomas of Kenya. He was inspecting the projects. Looking at Gachagua said he did not come to the protest because there was intelligence somewhere that he was to be framed for something. Same thing happened. Almost all the leaders behave the same way. But now we are shifting our focus from the deliverables that we need as a country, integrity that we need on a leader, commitment to work that we need from a leader, and then shifting to you understand the shift.
If I may take this just a minute.
Let us have a minute.
Just a minute. Then on this, just a second.
Have a minute first.
I'll say politics is a motive. You see, you have to be a politician. You are not a leader in this Kenyan politics. Kenyan politics does not want leaders. It wants politicians.
All right. Let's have a minute. What's your opinion on the sobriety of young people when it comes to voting?
Okay, first I'll say that our leaders are a reflection of ourselves. For example, maybe nimezoea kuibaiba pens, meaning that tomorrow when I become a leader, I'll do the same. Nitakuwa nikiiba. So at first you say that utapata watu wa mashinani, they are picking good leaders than maybe Nairobi. Nairobi will pick a leader because he has dimples, because he's handsome. But that means a lot because at least kule mashinani, people know what they want. They know that we are nearly going to farming, so we need fertilizers, we need this, and the leaders there, at least they help. So me saying that our leaders are a reflection of us, stating like the current government. Maybe some of us elected the current president, meaning we also have his traits. We really cry that the president doesn't have a good heart. He doesn't care about the people. It starts with me, who I elected him, because kama leo nimeamka nimeenda nimefanya this and this, I went to elect him, meaning that I saw something in him, but because he hasn't delivered what he had promised, then hapo sasa ndo vitu mingi zinakuja that the president doesn't have this, the president doesn't do this. I feel like as youths we have to stand by our own. We don't have to have a like maybe we say that I'm supporting Sifuna because I see he's doing this and this and this. Let me tell you that today Sifuna aitwe kwa State House, aende ambiwe nitakupatia a certain amount, maslahi yako nitafanya hivi na hivi, I'll shut down your care rebels and whatever. Wewe kitu utafanya, just go outside, fanya, be vibrant, ambia watu hii na hii, watu watakusikiza. I bet the guy can do that. Ninja maslahi ni muhimu. So sisi kama youth tunafaa kusimama on our own. We're saying that we want to elect maybe Matiang'i. The other time Matiang'i was the CS education and many more dockets that he had. So tukiangalia, yes, he was doing good kwa that cabinet, but he also did some shitty stuffs behind. So hiyo tayari tunaweza sema that we have a doubt kwa Matiang'i. We go to Maraga. Maraga has been a very good Chief Justice and many more things, but what he did juzi already inapeana kitu yenye, it's alarming that
is very minor.
Yes.
Anyway,
what is he doing? I mean, you can't leave people na uko na watu hapo uache uingie kwa gari na uende. That's inhuman of him. At least he could have done maybe even something, hata kama utaingisha kwa gari, but talk to the security, let them be taken somewhere. Those guys are mothers, maybe they have kids, and they were doing that to support you. So that was very bad of him. And what I'll say that for us youths, tuko na mengi sana ya kufanya. We really need to decide. Si kelele tu, or let's support. By the way, most people are saying that, we just don't want Ruto there, but we don't have an option. Anyone can go. Sasa imagine umetoa Ruto hapo, umepeleka someone else. Umepeleka mtu mwingine hapo, the guy does the same thing Ruto used to do. Ndo hapo tutakuwa every day we'll be crying, one term. So it's high time that sisi kama youth tujisimamie wenyewe na tufanye vitu zetu peke yetu. We say that Babu, Sifuna are doing the right thing. It's a very good thing, by the way. But also, we don't have to put high hopes on them, because kama leo Sifuna is going to the DCP leader Rigathi, and maybe wanashikana mkono, I'm very sure there's someone funding Sifuna rallies and the other things. Meaning, kuna mtu behind him. So if that person was maybe there, kama the person alikuwa kwa government, hata Sifuna akiingia atakuwa control with the same person, because he's the person that amekuwa kimfund. So as youths, we really need to be ourselves. At this point, I feel like tukisimamisha mtu kama Hassan leo hapo, he can do something. Yes.
All right. I love the point that you've given us, that talking of who is funding the leaders that we are choosing. Yes. I think that's very important, because power is always nani amesimama nyuma yako. Ni kama venye tunasema Farouk ni government. Yes, I think the most important thing we should also be looking at, apart from these faces that you're seeing, because right now on this show, I am the face of Biashara Tuesday. But there's a lot of people who are behind this camera. There's a director who akiniambia sahi funga show, tunafunga show. So I think that is the most important thing that we should be looking at as young people, not just looking at or listening to what they're saying. Now, allow me read the comments that we are having from our online audience who are following this program right now. Taking a look at what they are telling us online, we have several of them. We have Paula Koth, who says it's Biashara Tuesday. We have Sabasil, good morning Kenya. Biashara making educational more interesting. Anyone with Ideal Forgets Foundation. Idea Forgets Foundation. Please, in the comment section, ask Basil over there. We also have Tamla, who is enjoying the show. Gael locked in. We also have Trevor. Thika Road is really bad. Those are time when we are doing the updates. We have a Koth who says Penny wa mama wa Homa Bay land yao. I think that was on the news updates when they were complaining of the same. So we have Clinton who is saying Biashara Tuesday, always my Tuesdays breakfast. And many more comments. Thank you so much for tuning in and for joining us here on Biashara Tuesday. We had Amina and Blue Smile Hassan, viongozi wa pwani ambao wanazungumzia maswala nyeti ambayo yanahusu Wakenya kwa ujumla, but most importantly for the young people, sobriety when it comes to voting. My name is Anyango Sylvia. This has been Biashara Tuesday. Until next time, it's bye from us.